if you say ene eye na otweda adema asante hema nana kunadu yadom a otoso miensa awunya ne baabi ekoye no ene ena fikese menhia opimso setu etena sena adofo nso no akochia na asante hema yedi eye ne na otweda kama pa anti asantema nyina no yema yeho yako isanse asantema ato eye beseno enunti ene de beto fom boko na edinsem no etimi edi Abraham Nhyira 104.5 make us adwumadie no eye live on Facebook mesam on Facebook nka ho ha Facebook no makachem say ye wo problem kituwa bi enti YouTube nkwa na abetimi ahwe mpamcho muntie nie se opesen na dwumadie no o hwe live esetia YouTube ni se on download bi wo phone so mpacho sie kon download bi se Facebook na o download YouTube ni wia na boko search engine ho no bo Nhyira TV edi ashim Nhyira TV edi ashim na wa subscribe o subscribe no kire se anytime bia ye tenase ya ubenya message a kire se Nhyira passports aye airborne now so no wetimi aye part of the show the third edition of Nhyira air passports and make us say live our YouTube Nhyira TV subscribe it na fa message no jaho gabi to am de be comment na ye ba e de hunsem ni na no enso etimi edi abremo and siko no e maso nti anoma se no so etimi edi amame na toti am fane de na ha mo todi atmosphere etefo obia nim se eberechi eze ojoni todi amani enra yenkoti ese abrante do wasono be todi am ajoni aye asena na onsa hanama culture say about the story behind the story ade kronti abrante no wantimi anyone torium nemum oko asena no ye the star story no at the ebremu enano pe Manchester United yeso makofa new sporting director ade no eba ayehwanya eno so de san komo no at the ebremu Barcelona yes amazon bezon bom games ni bi awo Girona eno so ye de san komo no at the ba Chelsea nyamienum Chelsea sporting directors no mo ye adwuma pa Renato Veiga arante mi kase ono so no ajoni aya Villarreal eno so ye de san komo no enso e de ebremu ene amuzu p question of the day no mo am joining aí our YouTube Nhyira TV no your question na and say so your team na o Cristiano Ronaldo our Lionel Messi na ye bo game na die embassy ye pon game na onya penalty a Cristiano Ronaldo o team nim Lionel Messi o team nim why and aba man bo penalty ni last because when you bo wie yapon obo wie ya yapon ye man say bia o da form na ebi 1-1 open win na o sa penalty na when you win just all the echo wanim why and na obema ono nso no abo penalty no edi ama eno ayede amuzu p question of the day ne yebi sam awo dwumade no so enra ga katofo no games ni to da sante kotoko ne baabia ni Gold Stars etwa kotoko kaminu a kotoko take no aye baako afi house of kanwumre no amuzu share pan out of lands akabako a amu engineer yakoba na ya be share reactions of the coaches no and in some outdoor attitude supporters of mukoshe game ni bi no nyina ahunsem awo ha gise gabi to am gabi the foreigner atifo odien eko amanene eba Richard ne yakwa amanene
Grazie.
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 Na we dey free.
Oh, Ghana here. Was it
Ghana?
Yeah. And because it's so to the past 2-3 days I've been wearing some cardigans as well. Now I got the cardigans from somebody here in Ghana, and now on the way I can't was a token. Shop or to a flower station.
Okay.
The shop referring MOB clothing. Gerard and then the mommy and the tona.
Your point is a friend na.
Oh, me order. And now the number no name but me post a video no or my social media handles, my Gerald, any MOB clothing numbers ever twice here.
Okay.
So Fred and Joe, they're nice. And no, contact me or Twitter, so maybe the 2 cardigans now. And then these as well. I mean, solid stuff, slippers, belts, animal, none. But when you are correct one, to show. I know what called Facebook, 50 man for Twitter, TikTok, now. What Fred Gerald, near MOB, now be come on. Yeah, courage. And what can give me?
Yeah, okay. I did in the young crowd.
Nhyira, a studio or who's a brand whom you know easy.
I can't enter. I'll disown you.
I thought you.
So, no, Hannah Fatilu catch him. Brian at the computer and anymore, or you say,
oh, you go,
Kupama celebration. I'm so Munyano. Vega Crono, between fees. No,
that's a good fellow when you have to be.
Incident.
Nana Saka, when you have to be,
Massa Mema, at your fees at 30 and Yamodi. Oh, Papa, me do baby, as and me so to Manchester United. Would you feel damn them? But as him, Chiadanka. Now, would you never catch him? So, pit him now, oh, me papa, the support in the year. As I'm uniform, mem. And
you voice brand, you was spending
no problem. Some more bet you had the and the mamma more fun.
Yesterday,
okay,
Madrid started at the Santiago Bernabeu. Now, the truth of the matter is that, say, Unye Obia, we ardent fuller of the Spanish La Liga. You will look down on this score line for Madrid. Say, Unye Obia, Uni say Spanish La Liga, no, the big teams are supposed to sweep away every club biara. You will look down on this. Which only Spanish La Liga anymore. So only Sevilla, Athletic Bilbao, only Girona, only Valencia, only Villarreal, some clubs nearby. Real Betis, our Biembo. They believe that Spanish mentality and principles of play, though, regardless of how smaller they are, almost sure they need the resources of Barcelona and Madrid. No, almost sure they want to play. Sociedad, all of those people, they want to play. But when you meet Leganes, when you meet Mallorca, when you meet Osasuna, when you meet Atletico Madrid, their coaches in the dugout and then the teams, no, their mindset is to be solid defensively first. It's now Madrid match on Osasuna board. You can tell clearly that Osasuna came into the game to prevent Madrid from scoring. Into what the I say.
I want to send out one top.
Yeah.
And no cry. I just want my boy.
Yeah. No, good. So, very, very compact, making it difficult for Madrid to break them down. And you see, Xabi Alonso said it. It is clear that Madrid as a team, they have a lot of steps to go under Xabi Alonso. Because according to Xabi Alonso, Omo said that NCI on the training ground how to break down teams like Osasuna and they are not trained well about breaking down low blocks. It was you could tell say the team air struggle, baby I saw the ball on the court. But again, it is in moments like this that you buy and spend money on players like Kylian Mbappé, Mbappé. Like, who say and maybe say it to a swan. Let me give you an example. Who share Chelsea and Crystal Palace this weekend? Chelsea and Shedden clear card chance giddy. They got just half chances. First one they falling to Estevão Willian, young player from Brazil. At that moment, no, he felt like okay, it's an opportunity for me to get my name in light. It's you don't say go back to my anyone at all. Eddie Ama bench for the Pedro Neto to score. He went for glory. He missed it. Andre Santos had the same chance in the box. Oscar A. Before then, Trevor Chalobah in the opponent box had gotten a clean opening. Which the difference for Madrid is that when the time got more difficult, they had one of the best players manipulating to win a penalty or to score.
Game changer.
That is the word. He knew that the tackle was coming. And once he did that, he left his leg behind. Yes. Was there enough contact? Yes. Is it a penalty? Yes. And once he stands by it, Mbappé, when he stands by the penalty spotter, many a times he doesn't miss. And Rich, it was a solitary goal from our branch friend Kylian Mbappe to make it 1-0. It was enough for Madrid to get almost 3 points. So in the opening day, it wasn't a game and a flamboyant for Madrid. It was a difficult game, but you could tell, say, even after Mbappe scoring the goals, no, some of the new boys, no, really stand their feet in the game. With Alvaro Carreras, I think that he was very good on the night. Dean Hudson, because the Madrid had lots on the board, he was the Madrid player with the most passes, the most touches, the most forward passes. Everything was from my branch friend Dean Hudson. She XG, no, Madrid XG 1.53. Osasuna 0.36 and 0.5. 18 shots of Madrid, 2 to Osasuna, 5 on target for Madrid, and a 0 shots over there. 71 possession for Madrid, 29 shots over there for the pitch. I loved Nhyira, a branch friend, other goalie. Now, after the game, Xabi Alonso say he has realized that Ada Gule is developing nicely under him as a player, and Ono as a coach is excited. I think that under Xabi Alonso, Ada Gule is really going to be important for them. And Madrid had their 3 points. What it means is that the two big teams in the Spanish La Liga in the opening weekend, Barcelona 3 points, but then with more goals, and of course Madrid so any all important 3 points. It sets the tone for next week games, this weekend games here was Spanish La Liga, and of course even before the international break. And Nanka Yekwa the Dean Nanka Simbieni ho. But it was a night schedule for players and Kasa awarding our colleague players, which I think that in every institution, say unya bibi to say Sports Writers Association award, not say a sports writer. Not say if you are colleagues on ma I don't know if there is anything like Sports Analyst Award or Sports Broadcasters Award, or generally there is also the DJ Journalist Award. But that if you are not part of the corner, you don't even get awarded. But Rich, it is the PFA Awards that I'm talking about. On the night where the Professional Footballers Association, now I'm person share new young players and last season no more. And if you look through the list, I don't think say Obi will give the bone of contention in the players that have been selected. Me, I have just one player per, and I think that I have a bone of contention. But anybody who holds a different view, I can also agree with them on that player. I don't have a problem. Rich, you could awards now. Nottingham Forest for player friend Matt Sells, and you're the goalkeeper. He had the most clean sheet in English Premier League. Of course, Virgil van Dijk, and you know clean sheet right? I was David Raya, but because of his performances, he got that. Virgil van Dijk, I was listening. Milos Kekes, William Saliba, Gabriel Magalhaes, make keep back four. In fifth, you are Declan Rice, Ryan Gravenberch, Alex McAllister, Mohamed Salah, Alexander Isak, and a branch of Frederick Chris. The most surprising one was probably Chris Wood. Minyasio said before he started last season, no. Now you can say okay, but list of players, so about PFA players, you mentioned Chris Wood. But the exploit in Nottingham Forest last season was brilliant. The number of goals for sharing, the goal contributions, to the extent that today, Nottingham Forest will get to play in Europe. Something that is huge for them at the City Ground. They pushed for it last season. All the way in the Champions League. But with the sanctions of Crystal Palace, they will play in the Europa League. Very, very interesting. Rich, the only player I have a problem with is Milos Kekes. I think, Rich, see, I think Marco Correa was better than him last season. Marco Correa was joint highest scoring defender in our league in him last season. Nobody can tell me. So even Yedi Ekosi is in common now. Bournemouth did not finish ahead of Marco Correa last season, ahead of Chelsea last season. Even in terms of play on the field of play, I think Marco Correa was more influential. And this is off the top of my head. But goals, I have it off the top of my head. They assist crucial goals. The defensive clearance and stuff like that. And of course, this is voted by players, some year players, and they think that Milos was better than Marco Correa. I respect that. But I do think that at left back, it probably should have been a branch here, your friend Milos Kekes. But again, the rest of the defenders, I agree, made for this Ryan Gravenberch, exactly. So, Udi Kaisedo Komana, because Ryan Gravenberch, obviously, League, you know, and his performances pushed Liverpool to that. Alex McAllister reached Mohamed Salah, winning the PFA
back to back
3 times. 3 times. It has not been done before.
Or deserve?
Yes.
Born Premier League need.
Yeah. Who said the was the most consistent and the most assured sort of goals in Europe in the last 3 years. When you call him to be about 20-30 goals, Mohamed Salah. In the last 3 years, he has been consistent with it.
I'm a game against Bournemouth.
Yeah.
One shot and Bobo Bia.
But that opportunity
always
slaughtered it.
Oh, that's what I say.
Yeah.
Say I'm point Quadia.
Go.
Salah Bema go.
Yeah. And he did it nicely against Bournemouth. Rich, whilst all of the nice things were done at the awards, I like the suits. I like how everybody looked at all of them. Nice gentlemen, looking very presentable. And also, Rich, on himself, award back when many award we Young Player of the Year. He went to Aston Villa for Morgan Rogers. About 4 weeks ago, they didn't come about who is going to be the final piece of Chelsea's number 10 backup to Advertisements Mohamed Kudus. Advertisements Kopama. Now the list of players no. Mohamed Kudus, Advertisements Morgan Rogers, any player here very, very close that Chelsea will get him in Advertisements Javi Simons. So when I told you that if you push me between the two, Javi Simons and Morgan Rogers, I told you that I'll go for Morgan Rogers. And I've said it several times. Morgan Rogers, they say. And again, I'll go back to the game against Crystal Palace. In that game, Chelsea needed a number 8 and a 10. Or no, it's me bulldozing the way through the defense now. I question will be to say Ruby Loftus-Cheek. Or no, or so awa. Or the physique to protect the ball. But in all of that, Osasuna him and already the attacker the ball carrying no. And I brought a friend Morgan Rogers last season, Rich. On my very, very good returns in terms of goals and assists. On my very, very good returns in terms of goals. And my Aston Villa for and he was very, very important in terms of the final third for team and friend Aston Villa. He deserves it. He deserves everything about the way. And the only thing we didn't expect was this one.
Alexander Isak.
You see, when he was announced that he had won, he was part of the players now. And no enema or the sa list way or the sa statement way babonting. And Alexander Isak essay or no as a person say me translate yamawa. And na who say waje award be. But not on to me maho because yenina yenim. Nye maybe an nam ne hono. On yin to say gives him the peace of mind to come and take an award there. And untini wama.
If you are branching or is it Virginia Manado?
I
said, award near the amount. Fine, you might be going through a lot with your team.
Yeah.
This is award. Any the amount, but you know, podiums never.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no, but I'll see only the second paragraph. I'm not at the ceremony tonight. With everything going on, it didn't feel right for him. And it's a feeling. I think he respects any feeling. You know. Also, already, it did not feel right for him. I have kept quiet for a long time. While others have spoken, that silence has allowed people to push their own version of events, even though they know it doesn't reflect what's really said and agreed behind closed doors. The reality is that promises were made and the club has known my position for a long time and now act as if these issues are only emerging and misleading. Rich, see.
Promise Ben Walker.
Oh, he had a promise with Amanda Stavely. You see, the thing is that promise no ni Amanda Stavely enya now I'm at the time now Amanda Stavely the minority shareholder Newcastle club him
and I'm
Meba he had agreed that he will go this summer at a certain fee with the agents which the problem no company Amanda Stavely the problem no is essentially about Amanda Stavely on any years agreement no now on no about your friend Alexander Isak making sure say whatever they agreed no was on paper. Rich say I think say esi nyeri to your home. Esi nyeri to your home. Unim people don't know this. Alexander Isak has a loyalty bonus in his contract. Or loyalty bonus was in the contract name. Say Okachi Newcastle say or the or the formal transfer request Mbappe. It is one of the things that forfeits the loyalty bonus. Into all your loyalty bonus now.
Okay.
Into Otivie and on my training, on mobile. But he is hinging on an agreement, verbal, not written. On Amanda Stavele in the past, which in 2 ways, Newcastle. Newcastle professional, straightforward. Into Kwabianim. Almost for them, they are acting in the interest of Newcastle. We are in response that Alex remains under contract and that no commitment has ever been made by a club official that Alex can leave Newcastle this summer. We want to keep our best players, but we also understand players have their own wishes and we listen to their views. So at this point, almost put in a transfer request.
Around and then only case.
My big he has a case.
Only case.
Rich, we see he has a case.
Only case. Only going to only case. First of all, Nipa now on any argument, it was verbal.
Yeah.
What I say? A verbal agreement now in Nipa.
So are we saying that
Nipa no crying question? We're fitting
no problem. But I'm saying Mr. Rich.
Team now boss is here now also person with Jan. No contract.
Yeah.
And today
no, me say Mr. A football remember players, young players, anything. Everything that you do, put it on paper.
That's it.
Even outside of players,
it should be documented.
Whatever work you do.
Because as someone who can now, I'm promising me now. You see, say who could near beside say, Chairman, promise now, hey. I mean, minimum can we so easy. Come on.
You see, but you see, Rich.
And even beyond
that is the mistake. That is the mistake. Or no, Ishak any agency.
Even beyond that, Elubina, Ademola Lookman, a go through Atlanta. Say team now agrees here, but Tonwa. Sabi BBN show me change and Tom.
No, but
because you have a contract.
So unless you put it on paper,
that's it.
It's who put it on paper. They are.
Then only case
team, no. I didn't have a court. Say he agrees here, best sign. Rich, you see, mini say, oh yeah, mini kwano. Who's all for 1 minute? So let me just wrap up. And he said, oh, for 1 minute, only got been now. So let me just wrap up what they say. Essentially, oh Alexander Ishak, and if you are in there, you just have to learn from there. A good one for him. Chelsea, good news. Say, I'm tossing a dream, and then Champions League games. I don't have enough time. So, Okomi social media handles are they are going to be there. All of the codes in Bawa. My friends, now go could do come. Yeah,
but that's it. 50 man friend, the Martin and Canning show.
That's it.
Shut in effect.
That's it.
Now, where do you feel?
Oh, Ghana here.
Was it Ghana?
Yeah. And because it's so turning, the past 2-3 days I've been wearing some cardigans as well. Now I got the cardigans from somebody here in Ghana, and now on the way I was a token, or shop or to do a flower station.
Okay.
Shop referring MOB clothing. Gerard and in the mommy in the tona.
Your point is my friend now.
Oh, me order. And number no name but me post video no or me social media and as many Gerard any MOB clothing numbers ever twice here.
Okay.
So further not Joe they're nice. And no we contact me or Twitter say maybe like 2 cardigans now. And then these are so I mean solid stuff, slippers, belts, and money when now. But when you am a correct one to show. I know work on Facebook 50 man for Twitter, TikTok now. One for Gerard near movie na be come on. Yeah, courage. And what you give me?
Yeah, I did the young crowd.
Me run a studio or who's a Brian whom you know easy.
I can't enter. I'll disown you.
I thought.
So, no, Hannah Fatilu catch him. Brian at the computer and any man always say,
oh, yeah,
Kupama celebration. I'm so Munyano. Vega Crono, I bet fees. No,
that's a good fellow when you have to be.
Incident.
Nana Saka, when you have to be.
Mama, at your fees are 30 and Yamodi. Oh, Papa, me do baby, I send myself to Manchester United. What you feel, damn it, them. But I say, no, Danka. Now, would you never catch him? So, pity him now, oh, me, Papa, the support in the year. I say me yini free me mem.
Any ye voice brand you tia was spending na
no problem. So mo betu ya dia.
Ah you betu.
And the mama mo fa no.
Come on. Yeah. Yesterday,
okay.
Madrid started at the Santiago Bernabeu. Now, the truth of the matter is that say unye obi a ardent follower of the Spanish La Liga, you will look down on this score line for Madrid. Say unye obi a uni say Spanish La Liga no, the big teams are supposed to sweep away every club biana. You will look down on this. Which only Spanish La Liga ni maya. Say only Sevilla, Athletic Bilbao, only Girona, only Valencia, only Villarreal, sa clubs nearby. Real Betis, they believe that Spanish mentality and principles of play, regardless of how smaller they are, almost they need the resources of Barcelona and Madrid. Almost sure they want to play. Sociedad, all of those people, they want to play. But when you meet Leganes, when you meet Mallorca, when you meet Osasuna, when you meet Atletico Madrid, their coaches in the dugout and then the teams, their mindset is to be solid defensively first. It's now Madrid match on Osasuna born. You can tell clearly that Osasuna came into the game to prevent Madrid from scoring. No. Into what the own say.
I want to send out. One top.
Yeah.
And no cry. I just want my boy.
Yeah. No, very, very compact, making it difficult for Madrid to break them down. And you see, Xabi Alonso said it. It is clear that Madrid as a team, they have a lot of steps to go under Xabi Alonso. Because according to Xabi Alonso, almost said that NCI on the training ground how to break down teams like Osasuna and Nhyira. They are not trained well about breaking down low blocks. It was you could tell, say, any team air struggle, maybe I saw the ball on the court. But again, it is in moments like this that you buy and spend money on players like Kylian Luton, Mbappe. Like, maybe say to a swan. Let me give you an example. Chelsea and Crystal Palace this weekend. Chelsea and Shedden clear card chance giddy. They got just half chances. First one they fall into Estevao Willian, young player from Brazil. At that moment, no one he felt like, okay, it's an opportunity for me to get my name in light. It's those who commit man anyone at 2 of them, Eddie Ama bench for the Pedro Neto to score. He went for glory, he missed it. Andre Santos had the same chance in the box, Oscar A. Before then, Trevor Chalobah in the opponent box had gotten a clean opening. Which the difference for Madrid is that when the time got more difficult, they had one of the best players manipulating to win a penalty or to score.
Game changer.
That is the word. He knew that the tackle was coming. Or more the two, only said tackle there. And once he did that, he left his leg behind. Play on the end and I can't pay. I've been a form. Yes. Was there enough contact? Yes. Is it a penalty? Yes. And once he stands by it, he named himself Luton Mbappe. When he stands by the penalty spotter, many a times he doesn't miss. And Rich, it was a solitary goal from our branch friend Kylian Mbappe to make it 1-0. It was enough for Madrid to get almost 3 points. So in the opening day, it wasn't a game and a flamboyant for Madrid. It was a difficult game, but you could tell, say, even after Mbappe scoring the goals, some of the new boys really stand their feet in the game. With Alvaro Carreras, I think that he was very good on the night. Dean Hudson, because the Madrid follow had lots on the board, he was the Madrid player with the most passes, the most touches, the most forward passes. Everything was from my branch friend Dean Hudson. She XG, Madrid XG 1.53, Osasuna 0.36 and 0.5. 18 short of Madrid, 2 to Osasuna, 5 on target for Madrid, and a 0 shots over the 71 possession for Madrid, 29 shots over there for the pitch. I loved Nhyira, a branch friend other goal. Now after the game, Xabi Alonso say he has realized that Ada Gule is developing nicely under him as a player, and Ono as a coach is excited. I think that under Xabi Alonso, Ada Gule is really going to be important for them. And Madrid had their 3 points. What it means is that
Now, so we league table ni din. The reason why a club will be that top, now a be that second, third, the number of goals are ultimate share with win because about 3 points they are from Barcelona to Real Madrid. Obia 3 points. But Rich, the reason why out of the 8 clubs are Obia win on the first day, no Madrid and that one and say, or among clubs now almost a few goals in be 1 goal per Madrid 18 and ra 1 now Madrid share also was a penalty. I mean, I don't want to tell me that's a controversial and Obia make say me a Barca Nintina make us into 1 now Madrid share no was a penalty goal. Now Rich Obia himself a Jumana Xabi Alonso was so and Enra I think so among government will say probably it's more bigger than the one who want you know. Now this is why I say so. We all know say Tima Madrid ending the ball and run plays in a 3-4-3. That is how they play. Into Ozos, Ruben Garcia, Anti Budime. Say no Osasuna bo anymore 3. Then they play in a back 3 with 2 wing backs and a 2 central midfielders. Now Rich, but in defensive transitions, which majority of the time they will have to be in a defensive shape. No, what they do and they say, Rich, back 3 come more close to accommodate wing backs, you know. Until you see them majority of the time 5 defenders, which 2 central midfielders, you know, so there's no space for you to play in between the lines against them. They're not Omaja Budiman Kwa anymore. Ozos and Ruben Garcia also come in inverted say very, very compact. But Rich, Xabi Alonso decided to go 4-3-3. And it's already we also born a 4-3-3 now. He played in the back 4 of Trent, then the new left back, Benfica, Carres, then a back 2, and I said center halves of Adam Militao and Dean Hoysen, then Uben Fifi. For me, problem no and Fifi no any anymore. Chiomani, Ada Goulet, Federico Valverde, Sam Medford no is supposed to be good enough. And I'm you have your DM, then you have your box to box in Federico Valverde. And I want a typical no Matena on him ball. Young player on him dribble in tight spaces. He know how to create within the passes. And I'll be anymore over Brahim Diaz, Vinicius Junior, and a Kylian Mbappe. But Rich, this is the problem. Number 1. Real Madrid a team, a free thing in Rich, the reason why they buy the Galacticos and they say they want to show you personality first. And to see a park and so now who Tony Cruz or Yembesho, who Modric or Yembesho, who Karim Benzema or Yembesho, who Cristiano Ronaldo or Yembesho, who Kylian Mbappe or Yembesho, who Gareth Bale or Yembesho. You just start on the ground. You see those players and they exude a lot of personality. Marriage. There is no way you will be afraid of Ada Goulet. Even though on the ball. Chiomani doesn't give you that. Federico Valverde doesn't give you that. But he doesn't have the personality. Nobody is afraid of him. But he doesn't exude Real Madrid standard personality. Now, gradually, Rich, Vinicius is turning into Antonio of Manchester United. And you see, Bona Real Madrid airborne. So Washa, Rich, are you almost to unlock the defense of a defensive block team? Simply because they don't have a Toni Kroos with intelligent and vision pass from deep. Omunibi. Chiomani and Federico Valverde are workaholics. Omajumani work. They don't have the vision of Modric and Toni Kroos. Other Gule na wabese team nimuno. Rich, this is the first season over prime Real Madrid. He needs to settle more. Then my last problem ni Rich. Semi-bo game na me bo front rear. What I am expecting and I say, you better kutabo na. Then get 1v1 for the oboyo your left and your right one. Rich, what the boy name of Vinicius? The Ebama team impact or Real Madrid formation game against a team of Wabaso be defending and he said he will take you on. So on your beat you know about zones where that is why he become dangerous. But that's all right. I don't know what is wrong with him. What possible on the Vinicius or the nice ball so I know the ball number 2 in Echi. No, I saw possible on Konechi. Because he doesn't have only the passion to take you on. But Vinicius, when he is able to go direct and dribble you into the box, and I don't even remember any memory in the game of him.
Vinicius.
And Rich, Sadio na make us the Vinicius no. Mbappe did it 90 minutes. Anytime he will dribble you. Or shot you, or create space with the dribbles. He was doing all the job. One man, a damn crowd of it. Look, Real Madrid should be careful. The team is becoming too much of Mbappe dependence. Too much. And Enra, a baby on no quiet, and I was a Real Madrid, and without him, Rich, I said, what you want it in the Akane. And that is a big problem for team your friend Real Madrid. Now, of course, you see, I agree with the commentator on Abrante penalty. Look, the moment Mbappe led him, say person referee no ebenya any call against you, don't slide in. Say slide in. Na onai anka ball say in this situation onai anka ball na reach any contacts. The first advantage a referee will be given to the player na no kuta ball. That is fundamental football. Say me a striker. Na me the ball rub box. Na me treko kakra bi na o slide in back. Na onai anka ball. Na there's any contact. I am not saying who initiated any form of contact. Reach who will slide in now you defender now. You will always be at a disadvantage of a Kobe at say. And I think it's a Kotia Tima FN Osasuna, and that was enough. Mbappe, BM had to redeem Team FN Real Madrid from the a very slow start, and all the players recognize that with Abantia, FN Kylian Mbappe, and it was always going to be him. Why? There's Obiampom Beno, Meka Mohamed Salah. The PFA Player of the Year, Obiampo Men. Look, he had won the writers, he had won the Premier League awards, and the players knew he was the best. Rich Unim said out of all the awards, the Nkofoni Premier to surprise the one the players vote themselves. But Rich, say, oh, I told the beer. Say, Omudi Mohamed Salah on Koma. Now, person Omuchine to a category of say. Look, more recognizing as one of the greatest to have played the Premier League. I don't know what reservation kakra. But Rich, I think I need to change some mindset. I need to change it. Because if you look at this, then it tells you about how great this guy is in the Premier League. It is true. Rich Odier, Premier League in the great players have been second league in him.
The great Thierry Henry.
Thierry!
He winning 2 times.
Yes! Cristiano Ronaldo! Alan Shearer! Wow! Kevin De Bruyne! None of the greats are in the Premier League. Who the Lampard mu John? Who the for Biabra? Obianiwa in the history of the Premier League, not even Steven Gerrard money at the energy PFA Player of the Year 3 times. Only Salah has done that.
And back to back.
Charlie, I think say me and when it dawned on me say look, when people say Salah is one of the greatest and they will go to debate with him, look, give them the opportunity to do that because I've been telling numbers and then you know Premier League in rich no
matches ni bi atoja ene ye play of matches ha e ba sa no pe mayensi kosukakre na ye we de wa niam anom asi ayaya wurim say no the FC Basel wo mu di record de bera omni FC Copenhagen enso ebo 1-1 ansa na Bodo Glimt Boboko no e wo so ntina polypoly num editi IS Tom Grasa wo mu enso antime ante me pato Celtic Boboko no etna Scotland wo mu any team ani din enso ani Claret enso ebo IS 0-0 Fenerbahce wo mu tena fie wo Turkey wo mu ni Benfica enso bo 0-0 ni nya Benfica Boboko no e di red card nti ene ye matches a eto da no ada e wo eye UEFA e playoff na no pe no ye de kakra enso adi adam wo me pato me yanko UEFA Europa League ye we qualification matches ni be ene matches eto da e wo Denmark no ene ye team ani di ne adi Midfield pato ene wo mu e wo game atase so mu he no mu su esia kan game ba kwa no so wo so e Maccabi Tel Aviv wo betena Israel wo mu ni Dynamo Kiev ana tase di se ni ansa na Panathinaikos Boboko no enso ane Samaspor wo mu game no enso etimi atwani no e matches a beto twa e wo e dwuma de so me pato de tase team ani din enso andi Zenski wo mu e wo game wo mu ni Irichit enso e de be se ni ansa na lot person me pato wo mu ni Kagent enso di se ni ti matches ni dos ye pa woko UEFA Conference League matches ni bi enso e wo ho atasa nya asem ko 20 no as time goes on no fifi man fa de mo ba omo enso ati aye code ni beba na eja wanya matches ni bi na wetimi dia kofikesiem na eno so etimi aboa ye pa bada ma men ko Barcelona na men ko din ko ba kakra o Barca katem na okọ Barca ko ba kakra men sa kam esa ansa Barcelona yo Madrid sa anka wo mu game esa totwa awo ayo mu home wo mu first game awo home awo La Liga ni no anka on person mo born with the new Spotify kam no bada yasa this miracle ansa na Barcelona timi abo mo matches no anso our the new Spotify coming on and no other yes Barcelona as I said in common ebi echo UEFA ebi anso call La Liga campaign for no say ene Monjik Stadium or Luis campaign so no Barca for nanka ho na so musia kan but yes concert bi aba because was park no so and Barcelona and to be mo game no stadium ho nti yes ko Jeruna wo stadium ho ana Barcelona for ayo Madrid say ho ana person mo kokobo mo first game e wo home against Valencia womo chase so bubo game no ewo air stadium ene eba no aye ye kan say womo eniama va no enso ewo ho atese betimi aboa ama adwuma na ye kama edi ama La Liga nti wobasa so omni giru na boboko no enso edi nkomo se bibia etimi wie pay dia ene Barca womo game against Valencia womo so ebebo no wo Jeruna stadium ha ene ye nkomo kakra so etotwa ewo dwuma de so na no pay no me de wonsam kakra edi dan wo me pato Manchester United enkoba kakra men saka say grace afọ no asase atese omo sisi biem say ade ba ko na Glazer for any so betimi aton Manchester United e dia ma obi bia na so mbebie mo ama obi aba bewram na bia wato sales Manchester United say Toma yes Manchester United Glazer family no ani Sir Jim Ratcliffe ani ni Ineos company ne tenase no kwabena omede ton 25% o paying this 1.2 billion eduru ma pepepe ana chese emra bi sa se eye adwuma na emra wo ho na chese eye adwuma say yasi omo dealing with companies in India sabrofo we omo tiase drag along clause kwabena yes sa clauses we say uni obi ya adwuma na so oye minority shareholder na say sa clauses do mu di same ema wo majority shareholder no wo betimi aton team no ana say bia company na wo no wo betimi aton dia ma obi ana say bia wo beka sa wa bia munti south na ebia ono obi na meto percentage ni bi ada say dia oye minority
stake no waji tum say say adwuma ni di ansa no watimi di say adwuma no enti nano da ane ase sa courses no eba na wie eno ye on the 13th of this month here ane ase sa drag along air course no expire enti ama the Glazer family opportunity say bi obeka so per Manchester United or person to afa Glazer for no ene oni kro no betimi adi nsawo so adi nkomo ye na afa o metimi aton A6 ni bi anase mpo o metimi aton mo sales no ade amo oni kro ne o person beto Manchester United bobo kro no enti ane ye nkomo kakra e for me adi abanti yadi say the Sergeant Radcliffe sa hold na ekwa no na I say o Philip Pompasa Manchester United bobo kro no ankasa etimi take decision ano so abo no ankasa no sisi ade sa crosses no enya abana bi ye na Real Madrid ekodi nkoma kakra ni amensaka ayase tibu kotwa wo mo chase omni abrante no adi nkomo on contract extension na extension on person omede man no anum ayato 20 ade asa 2 years aya contract extension ana chase on person omede ka ho adi ama mark ayatibu kotwa me pato yase nkoma na ya adwuma atase fi na ko wo mo ba sa contract extension no etimi ade ama aya mark tibu kotwa nkoma kakra ni ebarati ese wono ye player de ma Crystal Palace bobo kono nano da mba beka to say Steve Paris no mo hese sabran termi enu de aye magayi anafe aye barati ese wo metimi ni o matwa so enso aye aduma pato reporter menseka aye say yasim anu ana 60 million aye package no enso enya ko Arsenal for enya from man no so 60 million de aye mesra ma munje na aka abrante mo man mra player nankasa de yeni na di nkoma dada enti mo pa mo misa ebere tie se yeni ni nkoma ya se Crystal Palace for ebisa Brantona no so Arsenal ne de obeko and so offer no mo ye good Crystal Palace as a club one beg John the wire ready enti anopeya make say wo ma bookie aye medicals adiama ebere tie ata so be ya ni kokoye and medicals ndiama Arsenal boboko no so atwane no reporter mensaka na ya se de ebo aye pa ama opanyi we dia say wo mutimi nya ebereti ese say yaso ko Crystal Palace bobo ko na wo mu panyina ni dinadi Steve Paris no dia say yaso ko Arsenal panyi pa ba ko ho na yaso ni din komo yie pa ni din ade team Lewis yaso team Lewis ani Steve Paris dia say wo mu onkuta wudi a wo mu ta din komo yaso on WhatsApp kwa no wo mutimi chate enti sa ayo panyi no so ana Arsenal fire ta so mu sase adili ya wo manya ebereti ese ata so ba besia kan enso ediama Arsenal boboko no eno so nkoma kakra ja etodwa awodumande so ame prechire ediama na yankwa enim kakra na yankwa Chelsea eno ada na eba se Renato Veiga womanya to abrante no na omede ne ko Villarreal Thomas Partey me pato ni team nim ana omede Renato Veiga enso eko Chelsea aton ne saya yesi 25 million fixed price ana Chelsea ada to abrante no na yesi advance kakra eka ho eno 4.5 million euros. Aside that, the Sakobase, Sadancha Comebiano, Villarreal, Abato Branta, the Renato Veiga, a fee 20%, Echo 40%, and Chelsea Betimian, Nadientia, a fee 20%, Echo 40% in the HSA. Yes, it causes to be SSM, at SSA, Ekobas so much to me meetia, Tamo meeting nano, Nakabra, and my percentages no, causes so many media tono, and so Ecoso, and T, and Renato Veiga, me patoni dino come back a Medi down the answer, Abrante will charge you 12 million per and the Chelsea the tour. I Abrante ne, or matter 25 million, and also come back a craja, Ebony, Ayasa, no Bibisa, Sir Nicolas Jackson, the coin, Yamin, yes, 6 clubs, and now when it talks, I didn't come on, Sancomunia, Nicolas Jackson or Mope, but I san come on with Dinano, as a Sicano, and Sadan Sinclair, and as a Chelsea Sadan fee, and to copy him Sabia Sicano, a movement to me Ansana, when Major Nicolas Jackson, when met to Major Impo, Chelsea said Daniel Madrid, sir, or more to Abantano, I'm on Swetimako Babia, and Komaka Kramete, as Sasabai, as a disaster, sat Bama for Fabo, yet the home say, Pa, amateurs the Bama for Sobo Kaba, no Masaba Bedin Comani, Nano Dane Sasson Via, and Selko Bolo Kaka, or Moya Son Betono, Yohana. Juve for and so first and Comunia Bantan and Comope. But I'm paper make a side here. Yes, AFC Pebov. And no much so Munya Azu Disasia. Womusu Ebetimia Sino. And Tanosu Kobakakra. Mensa come our Jumadius near. Na Afe, Mamen Comaron Boadu. Not meaning Kobakakra. And some Maron Boadu. There some or no air player. Adama AS Monaco Bobokono. Nano da Omodini Malone. Amanakobo Bohum Kaka. And Kobakakra Mensaka. As Valencia. And Afe Genoa Bobokono. Edin Kobasa Omo Enyamaron Boadua. And Combe Pay Pa or the that player. In fact, or no air gun anybody better. Kabana can farm my Oko Ayo Holland, the Honor Branted, and some our reporter Mensaka as a Afe no more has a Valencia and Afe Genoa, Bobo Querebio Metimania Clatina, and Command Sweat me at also Liverpool. Wobo Awakuda, we saw Baku Elho, and it didn't add Stefan by Church. Nankobaka Mensa Aka, and to I say, Yasi Jeruna, Edin Koma, so many Stefan by Jeticha, Womsubet Messa Brantano, and Team Commander Sasia, at Somudi and Kobaka, and also update about Mamiko Tottenham, Oko Tottenham Hospital, Niamensaka, Yasi, Tottenham Fortress, 8 million, Omapejo Musicanum, Homody Cosity, Savio, Omokata City France, Yamiani, Preba Kubiana, Comopenoman, and Intuidia, Adabraka 80 year, Aquade or buy a more headamon Hokabia, and Chanka 80 year, Omontiasia, Na Anka Savio, Emesia can from a Tottenham Hospital, and Ian Kobaka Kwanso Etota, Ewo Jumadi Sano Pay, and Kramen Saka, as a Brantani dinner di Juskunde. Yes, a corner a sense in Obaya till 2030. No, a Brantan to me, I am Onaya Sekim. Yes, is Kakakra Elha Brantano, and so and Sabakana, and also to me up 1 year panty, and Ian Kobaka Kwanso Kudano, if in a Katem Adi Eba, Ewo Jumadi Sona, Barcelona, Ewo goalkeeper Nidin, Adi Nakipina, Besina, a Brantan Sadanko, baby, Abada, Barcelona for the Ababe to just one person Moton Brantano. No, yes, the reason here. Barca NTB Enya, Team Biafama Kudano, as no more person or more corner sense. Adman because I can't 1 year play on the contract in so and to Barcelona for Kata Brantan say. So Mbejano Amanakwa. At this way, contract sense and some at the Emma Timno, Quabna and Command Saka as a Omini agent, and your Brantan is no. Omantia to some as a contract sense no, Adama Barcelona. And for me, a contract sense in the area. No fear, I'm a Barcelona for Etimaton Basa. Basa Betimania Sikakase, na teams are Mensaka, so more Pabrantano, Baku Akomo Bobokono, Baku Tata Vigo, Anna Baku Galatasaray, na and Command Mensaka as a team sitting nanum, woman Nana, this homoton, and some met me at Pabrantano, and T. Ananama Brantani deal, and so Adile, Matiza Ayajuruna Bobokono, and so Basomunia Nakipina, Wamusu Abasan T. Dietenia, Victor Boniface, one of a player, Adama Bano Fall of a course, and I'll pay and Kramen Saka as yes in the agent at the flight bar. Wako AC, Wako Milano, not Wako Kodin Komakaka, as AC Milan Bobokono, as for interest. So we here I have Victor Boniface and to Commander Hasia, Tasomadin Komaya Paya 30 million euros and Esika. At that Brantas will make media tournament initially no, Yaso much as a loan, and on the far Brantas option to buy no, about 30 million euros in tea, and then Komaka Kwanso Etota, our air Jumadia saw, Meko Rosimus Holland, where a player at Manchester United. Yasa Brantas offers the Pina Abba, team beat is Napoli, a be RB Leipzig, and a be AC Milan Bokono, women not so interest, so many Rosimus Holland on Betono. Kabana, Yaso Holland, a catcher, Satim sitting and said, Sir, a loan, and Omopena, a Omon Fansum, sir, oh, we are obligatory, and that's obligation to buy, and yes, as option now, Ebia option open out to Dabi, where they are, so we are, and so tono, and I did a Branton Epe, and the Sobels are Branton Colombia, not that means I answer, and the Matima, or Quacosia at the moment, sir, Obolo Nivia, at this almost a tono, and also Comaka Crane, Meko Bezo, Echo Din Coma, Grimmy Bobocono, or much as Omunia Atamela, almost Abasan, and Thomas I said Dincomo on a permanent dealer, and also Comaka Crane, also Villa Bobocono, almost so more entertaining, I have some more money, and mum, a Branton the other Morgan Air Rangers, Omunia Air Morgan Air Rangers on Batono, and on Chase be a Sikabi Baba, nobody tongue, Air Brantano, and this is 80 million pounds, and a Baba and Sana, Omato Morgan Rogers, Omatimatono, and this a Tottenham Hospital. I imagine says so now, Omi Pomogana, and the 80 million on the body, and Omeja Brantano, and so Manako call Julia and Siso, but I could that way that be what it teaches the papa Eziso. I go with Hotabo pass when you were net to the hall, not yes or Takabana to Miss Aquawe, so to be a Manchester United, Julia and Siso. But reporter Mensaka. Yes, Chelsea at top Brantano. Na ne contract or the Chelsea no. I to 32. In fact, due Nankasa to 2031. Or option. So the air 1 year so Ebabaka. I'm the time in second. As a Brantano. Adjani Chelsea. Chelsea at the Colon. I will I trouble Boboko and 2026. And so season you know Anna Brantano Bana Jude and Cecil. Wababe Siaka Dema Chelsea Boboko Manchester. Akofa New Sporting Director. Na Yazi New Sporting Director. Manchester United. HSA ne omo the academy players and obedi juma sana yase Ruben Amorim akate timinti omo kofa opanyin bi dini free aye Brentford ednaba yase abana aye under 18 players na wedi wintintima e panidin edi aye Stephen aye Tope anti Stephen Tope one of baba ye juma kama edema Manchester United bo kodo and somebody Dawson but the answer won seka anana no pay mama wonsa and so etimi aka berepem eda efitina kone yaba ya de aka nyina kama ede aba won chesha wodos nyina so ntikwabana se bibie ni won dia mame emfa entrofa man so nsem no emfa enso esianem se
okay inshallah 4.5 yen to dwumadie so ya live our YouTube Insha TV me say uni YouTube app no wo phone so se say dwumadie no YouTube nko na ebe streami enti ko download bi me pam chow Facebook no untimi enhwe Insha passports awo ho but YouTube app no phone so eno na say Facebook na di download bi sisi awo phone so na efa be show no we are the Thursday edition of Insha Digital Passports nyame ya adoma ye call the Bono region na ye konsa kakra so ho nipa de oya adwuma uma na ostop kakra ana uma no tukwa kakra ko baby na onso no so ho on said the niema ensu esi ekono na Bonfa stores na inina ye free commerce in fact region bia obia no obetimi adjoin trip yi na ede akọ the Bono region ye be ko baby ti se fiema monkey sanctuary ho afeki Tampo waterfalls ho nya no ye be ko ne miamia bebre awo the Bono region nindina full package no 500 cities ka oba fraud aduane a obedi radio call pictures e betwitwane ade na no nindina ene wo 500 nim enti ya no ahye ne so edi amamena apart from no sa konto nsem bia abeso tukwan ekọ abroche country bia o de bra ya beji visa edi amana nso no wetimi edi etukwan ye wo Kumasi tek eja ya ye ne Victory Baptist asori no na eben yi pa me patro friend our 0531 090068 eno number edi juma ene anopay sanso ena coke no megusua make house say ni de no ye de bidia ka ho packaging no so ya sign I resist standard no so he say f papa nemum price no a drop it atini ade na ede packaging no ya man a facelift nemum price no ade na kasa bo no ya to so ya peso bia etimi to bi 300 ml no 5 Ghana cities into any coke who am say me papa mini akufi say on the coke no nyasem kito akro pan kasa aniti ana say ye te so na me ni agye 5 cities na wagene de kama panti ana nso no watumi atobi edama siesie de Alaska Star Enterprise hone sa ukọ na okoto omniema no ebi eniema no de di kan ene se eniema no efo ena ne bo no apart from say efo no asan ye papa kama makacho say dem painting ni ade no jai so he say we are so a different level he say ye de wallpaper no me design dem na ama ho no enso etimi ayefe so 3D nom ene 8D ni na you be ewo blank curtains you be ewo eco panel best spread modern TV stands best side lamps sofa cover plastic wardrobes nom carpet in fact bibia would be say dem no you be ewo so we got you bra na you know entena say na ɛfa sika kakra bɛfa nneɛma bebree ɛkɔsiesie wo dɛm ɔma ho nso no ntimi ɛnyɛ fɛ mesrɛw yɛwɔ ɛyɛ Kumase adum Boss FM hɔ na Mrs. Anoche Plaza nim ubuso bia ɔbɛkyerɛw na ɔkɔnkran so a yɛwɔ circle tiptoe lane ɛhɔ nso yɛwɔ hɔ mebakyɛw frɛ ɛwɔ 0256 330075 Alaska Star Enterprise where quality sell cheap na bibia anya kama enso emfa emawo na Dr. Fokuo Herbal Clinic Bechi number 1 make us say nipa anya sem kitu akra na oni ma de gruntia esan say Dr. Fokuo no nedro no ode kanwa edro no onya de kan say kim na ho ato eno nti ayafo nyina Dr. Fokuo ho na omokwa a omonso akwaje eye ayarhwe eno nti mesraw sɛ onso ho emfa wa sɛ ɛyɛ SCA zone enam yade hepatitis B stroke hypertension diabetes yare Samson asiatica ni nyina no ba koko ene how fibroid oba Dr. Carlos wanya fibroid o de bra Dr. Fokuo Herbal Clinic na yɛnhwɛ ma bibia no enye kama pa na obi ono ma sɛ bi wato ɛyɛ ensano mu ato nsɛm tentan yɛ hwia enye yie pamcho mo fa no Dr. Fokuo na ensa no enya de a ono nso ebenum enso ebiem low sperm count ni nyina okwa yɛbɛhwɛ wo ama bibia no kama pa enso edi ama pechi number 1 aho na yɛwɔ na nso no waba abegye ɛyɛ ayarhwɛ ama bibia no atimi akonkan enso atimi edi amawo ene anope ho nsɛm no ɛno no phone so de maka cho sɛ phone shops na ebie bebree ene ebie nanso baabi a me kan for diama ho na P phones and accessories isan so me ne ton original anya phone no phone yo original ho phone bia apart from say we meet the original na kasa ho it will Samsung original open Nokia Tecno Infinix and kodai tablet yom disua de anya toy one bi we the original tablet an kasa koda edusua de no na ekofa adiaba na o de obeto na usika ne nso a make sure so up half now do Ghana card at the account bar e ben hye no tweet and kakrakra ene number 1 number 2 and say ebia na opeso to bibre e de kwache workers ana wadofo bi eno so ba eno betra se na atebo no so ade ama ye promotion oto ade ane ache wade sika button 5000 Ghana cedis ebia branded t-shirt ni dina no ye che on na P phones and accessories Kumase adum baby miensa na ye wo opposite Acid House Kesme Honano Musabitu Akan number 2 no ayo Obiba JK building him and also ayo opposite Prudential Bank no and adum 3 aye Nana Kosiajiman building him PZ honso unsabitu Akan and Kantachima Kaswa Tamale honso yawo ho me ba cho friend awo 0533093422 namuno eni eye enkomo kemfo se ba mesha eye drama kamfo edi amawo na no pese kutobi na yade bia ete se infections a ehawo edranwumna untimi enna diabetes no BP sanso na oliver obrebo no eno de on se liver de enfani agro eni odi agro a obe kontem timpachaw ema oliver no mfa on kontem eni tina me kamfo eye Comfort Herbal mesha edi ama na no pay se oliver no problem ya ba ho a enwa ne se onso no obetimi atokem fa se ba mesha na a support liver no enso etimi edi amount ene anopa dro kama pa bibidro obia etobinom timisa onso kotobi na ebeboa wi pa okọ Fredimens Colina Cap me Kumase Gilico Pharmaceutical Santase ondina no kwa konongo brekum nkoko sunyan honso adro no bibiri enso ashita awo 0245455740 na wajodi kama pa tata send de apa abruchifo no obia ensa download bi our phone so kan ne ye kasa jisikai efa kofie mam se sei de atwam because jiko na hwa na nkuduru tata send de eno an se obe download our phone so na sika bia ode be fi bia no wonso watimi e de aba ma bia no ay kama e de ama promo code no bonjira fanfashem yente hwe if you country bia wa abruchi bia minjimi mboni nyina enti ode download bi keke na efase no sika nyina ebra Ghana eno edien aba 1041 Nhyira 104.5 live our YouTube Nhyira TV. Mesamo download the YouTube app no our phone so. Very very and it's Facebook na. Enti download it na ebo Nhyira TV sim na be show no. Subscribe. Efa Emame. Fifi Manfred. Good morning.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning.
Kofi kwa jene zain.
Oh, nyame adom.
Ede nyame
Me
nsa.
hoye, me sure say wonso hoye ba.
Nyame adom me hoye.
All right.
Ale.
Oh, Debbie. So what's hoye? I'm just me hoye.
Ano ne se de no.
Aye, as I'm sir. Eh?
I hope say nyande me dwe no.
Debbie, yeah.
Okay. Mati.
Now, and now, I think one of the first things you spoke about, Madrid for only game normally was Osasuna boy.
I wasn't impressed at all.
You see, I agree with you.
And yeah, German the team no.
Yeah, and Rich, were you expecting, say, from the off, Madrid were going to be very colorful?
Kind of.
Then I think, say, you probably expected too much.
Yes, I understand. There's a new coach. Players, new additions are. Madrid dying there. And you're best sakaka.
Yeah.
But me, the Madrid team, you're not.
Yeah. You see,
I'm born on boy.
Who's the first one? Let me catch you say what follow Osasuna? Osasuna is a very, very defensively solid team. All throughout the Spanish La Liga. And me, I didn't have a problem with Madrid born on boy with Osasuna, no? For two reasons. One, because I'm a new coach. And it appears to me, say, from the who Club World Cup, any games that Madrid are born in, the new coach wants to play in a different way. You do say, like who say, join Carlo Ancelotti. If Madrid don't have the ball, they run back into their shape. But if you watch that game against Osasuna, in fact, the reason why I'm bringing this again is that I changed on 3 separate data sets. That's supposed to say Madrid players covered more ground as a collective, 111 kilometers. About 4 more kilometers more than the average 108 or 109 last season. No Madrid for the cover under Carlo Ancelotti.
It's because no Osasuna is defending.
No, so when you are covering more ground, I say, Ukita ball in the opponent zone in corner, you don't cover most ground. Usually, you cover ground when you counter press quickly. Again, into Mekano. But in Kayadi and Kaye, Carlo Ancelotti, Omono Subona, they sit back, they go back into a shape, and then allows Osasuna to play until time almost Sabeka. Rich, Yatina one of the biggest problems of Madrid in recent times has been on the front train. They don't press well without the ball. Rich, look at this annotation. In the first 35 minutes, Madrid tried to attack, lose the ball, and then quickly it turns on other goal, killing return Mbappe, and Vinicius Junior. I agree, ball wasn't the most exciting, but in seeing this data, it tells me, sir, I believe, say, okay, fine, Madrid will come good in the next few games. See, Rich, I won't be surprised. Say Madrid will peak in the middle of the season. Maybe they'll be able to give Barcelona a run for their money. All of us probably will not expect it because of first game against Osasuna. They were not colorful. Almost too exciting. Almost too slow on the ball. But my opinion, they are playing a different style of play. Different from what Carlo Ancelotti did. Different from what Madrid are used to. And then now they are playing under Benche Javier Alonso. Rich, Madrid for a use 0.84 seconds on average in the game to win back the ball every time against Osasuna. Again, I always understand that the point of view of the opponent is number one, but also Madrid's attitude in conjunction with the friends and distance cover in the game makes me believe that they can be good. My only problem again watching the game, this annotation, she may be a brand friend Alvaro Carreras Ejna as a fullback, and I think that players need to say Vini Junior do not understand because in the past under Carlo Ancelotti, say Madrid build up. Usually the fullbacks don't particularly push up, especially at left back. Right back said then he pushes. But at this time,
Alvaro Carreras has been given that license. So only the friend in the underlapping run in breaking down a low block. So there are certain times where Vinny, instead of laying the ball and using the underlapping run of Carreras, or rather want to take on players 2v1. He is new to that style of doing a lot of combination play in tight spaces now. And I think that under Jabi Alonso, Vinny will come good. I think it's early days yet to have a lot of worries about Vinny, and this was one of them. Carreras lays the ball to a friend Vinny Jr. Carreras had one around, so in between the outside centre back and the full back, no. But Vinny, instead of passing and combining, he rather want to take on 2v1, and it affects them. I want to believe, say, the press and counter press of Madrid, the fact that you're able to run more, win the ball quicker, and then the possibility of keeping wingers, stretching play, and then using fullbacks as underlapping run. No, they are good signs that Madrid will probably come good in the course of the season. So for me, I'll keep it there. Now, Barcelona are saying that they want to extend the contract of Frankie de Jong. Does that mean, say, it is the end of either Marc Casado and I say Marc Barnal? Because we say Barca deep line playmaking if you want to know. Frankie Petri can do that job also. Marc Barnal and then Marc Casado. In fact, at the beginning of last season, Casado and Barnal essentially became de facto starters. Came another Frankie de Jong and Prano, and when he didn't have, he had not sorted all of those or the contract extension and sank them. And they believed in them until those boys came to get injured. Now they are 4 fighting for just 2 positions. There are a lot of clubs in Europe. In fact, another pay from L'Equipe, they are asking for the signature of a branch of friend Marc Casado. And in front of Mundo, they are saying that Barca are going in to finalize the contract extension of a branch of friend Frankie de Jong. The NTN said Obenya a salary somewhere around 9 million annually for himself, and it's good for him. I think that after Salah injury, Frankie de Jong has been one of Barca's best players from last season. Which Frankie is good. Very, very good. And maybe because he plays with Pedri, our people don't particularly pay attention to him. But we say, enable because you need Obi Obeya recycling now. And then the American recycling now say, who the ball record come out attackers now? No more corner a coco kem. No more it's men breaking down the opponent defense now. And say, Bonnie Banexi. Bonnie Banexi, who you be able to start to attack him. Whether it's a sideways pass, whether it's a front pass, but they control also the tempo. Ometime dictate say okay, yam ku yanim sisi. Okay, yam to yam wasi kakra. Yam go sideways, yam pull kakra before we play forward. And that is what Frankie de Jong does in the middle of the park. So he is an excellent player. I agree that Barca to extent, but does that mean that Casado and Nase Barnal Mubako Bekwana?
Abrante Otiskin Pau.
Frankie
de Jong.
Oh yeah, he's also a Barca.
Otiskin Papa.
He said he loves Barcelona.
Abrante for Femo Barcelona.
Yeah, also a club.
Always know about a subject of transfer. So Barca Sika Simti, Yama Abrante and Co. Mekai Manchester Dinechi was a me.
Eric Tehag.
Me say me free Barcelona. Still I'll play.
Yeah. Also a club. He says
that is his club. Yeah. Barcelona for them was a look.
Yeah.
Now game mistake now Yama Abrante.
Yeah, Frankie excellent player. And I don't know if it's because of
penalty for that.
Meaning say is it because of Johan Cruyff, who is Dutch, who is from Ajax Amsterdam, and also I'm talking about the club Ajax Amsterdam, so a conveyor belt of top players, a free Ajax Ebano, and also having played at Barcelona and become a legend. So you see,
no, I don't know on Bobo.
Very good. Only say sometimes it is difficult for non-Spaniards and Europeans, and we are non-Spaniards, oh yeah. Non-European as a South American, they love Barca more because maybe because of colonization, there is a certain level of ingrained in them. So okay, the Barca. I mean, abroad team pay Barca, see you quiet Barcelona or Madrid. But all Europeans love their country teams. It's what I'm trying to say is that when somebody is born in Amsterdam, they love Ajax Amsterdam. When somebody is born in Rotterdam, maybe it's probably Eindhoven. Eindhoven. It's PSV Eindhoven. And you find out money at the end. It's not particularly another club in Europe. But maybe because of the influence of Johan Cruyff, having come from Ajax Amsterdam as a club, gone to Barcelona, become a legend there, coach there. In fact, Barcelona, some of their principles of play came from Johan Cruyff. So maybe because of the affinity to the club, and he wants to take a football club Barcelona, he deserves it. And the fact that he's even one of the captains.
Oh yeah, our players now.
Yeah.
Pressure about team so.
Oh, calm me down, everything.
Calm it down.
Calm me down.
On the bench ball, young left, young right.
Yeah.
There be boy there some side come back. Yeah, cycle play.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
And
the guy in the IQ of the ball.
Yeah,
super.
A very, very good Barca for Nasansa, you know, one of the captains over there. Of course, for Jules Koundé, we knew he was going to come.
More than
2030. Say the
Chelsea Muncha didn't need Sanko for Nibi.
Like Sanko for Nibi say.
Ukuta ball when there's pressure on the chain inquiry.
We have a lot of them. We have about 2 or 3 of them.
I know.
We have Enzo Fernandez or yes, Edgeman can do that job. We also have Romeo Rabia can do that job. Make up with a mini education baby entertaining. Obi or Shabu, won't shake ball, won't shake Chelsea.
I'm a da.
Oh, shake.
Chelsea match,
won't shake Chelsea match.
Enzo
Over my voice, of course.
Bobby. I mean, 2 onion call. I'm on for a better chi as it. Oko Arsenal. Omu pebieti enka no ni. Daddy you know now jeje. Say Enzo DB Fernandez. O Fernandez.
Na ti make us match. Ofa sa Chelsea midfield 2 no. Now for Barca midfield 2 now. Between that pair, Caicedo, Enzo Fernandez, Frankie de Jong, Pedri Gonzalez. There isn't too much in terms of quality gap between them.
Quality no so.
Oh what? There be my analysis.
Me come out there to the original.
Of course, Anthony, you didn't say me. You didn't be my it's a better.
I know can where you know.
I know can you.
I can discuss.
Who are the bike to make church, mama? The next time we are from because the bank could see the catcher at your who the city the track. Who people what the original J?
1 second. Kofi Maresca.
You see how got it. Mama, you was Russia. Data rope you are.
I know.
You be a man. I feel say over there to my wager to win to the credit. And now, Chelsea have managed to sell Renato Vega, who they bought from FC Basel for 12 million. They've sold him to Villarreal for 25 million base fee. But the deal can go on in terms of add-ons inside your money, man. Between 29 million to about 30 million for Branty Freno, Renato Vega. Now, Renato Vega came into the club to come and play at left centre back or left back, but can also play as an inverted left back in the middle of the park. Now, back last season, Renato Kati Chelsea for for World Cup 2026 sake, our Portugal national team, them position who say obetimi compete Bobby. And yes, I made for now. Almost person inverted from left back. Or also shot at proper left back. Nuno Mendes born Paris Saint-Germain. In the Portuguese national team, on team to know. So the only place he fancies that he can get a place to play, whether it is competing with Gonçalo Inácio and anybody that plays on the left hand side of Portugal's back line, he believes a left centre back. So he told Chelsea that he doesn't want to turn outright and also want to loan. Last season he went on loan to Juve. And everybody saw how good he was as a player. Oba, Juve have decided not to take him for a full amount in terms of buying him totally. Then Villarreal have come on board, buying him for 12 million. And because your club cannot relate. As it stands now, Anthony, Marcus Rashford, a lot of players. This summer, not one player, one player. But anytime we talk about Chelsea sales, no person will queue any. We will keep on telling you. Because at the beginning of Chelsea for the club, Motina has said and said, the club doesn't understand what they want to do. But in all honesty, they have run the club to the extent that players not mere quality, are playing in the team. And all what people said they are surplus to demand, they are making proper profits of them. And now, once the deal went through and everything was fine, Chelsea are going to make a book profit of 18+ million. Only the loan fee at Juventus 5 million in the account, man. It goes in excess of about 20 million. It means that this season, Chelsea are generating £251 million in terms of player sales. And it is a very, very good thing. You see, you wait for us to come and see this. Oh, Kofi Mato 1 million on car.
Kofi. Obia what tissue makani severally. Says how do you inquire the bomb about apart from some ton? Mosaton.
It's me ton
about my bomb about so intimidate.
Mountain can you
oh and
what I can you ton more.
Now me grandma say whoever all yes our business in the match Chelsea no. I think also clubs no chance say na you call money you could be some yen saying. But because they are doing well.
It is marketing.
They are doing so well. They are quite a mama.
What only are buying for a year within Kunkune? Chelsea have to stamp their feet. Bayern for no want to make it look like almost somewhere thing. But what they are doing it because a Kunkune Chelsea. And I'll explain to you. I've said several times for almost 1 month. He said, me didn't say Xavi Simons to Chelsea, done. I believe that is done. The only thing is that Chelsea and Leipzig will not want to make that deal open because Chelsea for him say immediately Xavi Simons automatically is reported that it is sorted. Obi Obeba Christopher Nkunku who says the replacement now the neighbor no one had the number. It's Ujano Manisi or my baba also. It's Jemuma and engine loan. So until Chelsea will be able to let Christopher Nkunku go, Xavi Simons will not come as a transfer start. And it's a marketing plan to strategically position the deal and get what you want. What's Bayern are doing? It's because they know that Chelsea wants Xavi Simons and want to do that. Rich, you can't tell me that the Bundesliga Player of the Year 2022, yeah, 3 years ago. 2020, he was the highest scoring goal player in the Bundesliga, German Bundesliga, with Robert Lewandowski.
But that is 3 years ago.
Fine, no problem.
3 seasons.
No problem. But all of the players that Bayern have tried to buy this summer, they are not close to the quality of Nkunku. Okay, Nick Votamade, or you're close to Nkunku. Rich, Nick Votamade, who is not close to the quality of Nkunku. I'm coming to them. I'm asking you first. Is it close to the quality of Nkunku? Maybe say Nick Votamade. Is it close to him? Maybe say okay, yes or no. Then we go to don't jump the gun. Okay, fine. I bet you for Luis Diaz. Nkunku's numbers in terms of goals, does it come close to it?
Numbers?
Yes. Yes. Wait, last season, Luis Diaz, let us talk about facts. No. You're facing facts.
But facts. Who can is about 3 years ago.
No, I'm asking you, sir.
Nkunku, maybe. You see, you're fair to analysis now.
Okay.
Nkunku, you know, Ubaka say, send Obi Beton from Chelsea. Sasikana mu go to no
40 million.
One betia.
Player
or paper. Want to do a play.
Fine. It's Roberto Luis Diaz. Relax. You are buying Luis Diaz for 75 million, but you pay 40 million for him.
It's because Luis Diaz will play and a ball in more.
Then more than Luis Diaz more. No, me say Bob and Luis Diaz more. In buying team right now, you need Nkunku more.
I never cross the Premier League.
Now then I can end
Premier League. Luis Diaz or last year. In
that Liverpool team, Luis Diaz contributed to the league 13 goals. When Leipzig were doing what they were doing over, he scored 20 plus goals.
Leipzig
even at a lower team. No, Theo, Richardo. You see, sometimes SES choose animal. Even at a lower team. What I'm saying is that if you can pay Newcastle buy Nhyira 75 million from Nkunku, but so we make 75 for Luis Diaz, 40 million. If you can go to Stuttgart and tell them that we make 50 million for Nick Votamade, then you pay 40 million for him.
We are not catch him say, I Ganacho do over 50.
Wait, Obian can't tell us a woman cast a woman Ganacho. Obian can't tell us a woman Manchester United, but that's the difference. I've told you that in the transfer market, it's about marketing. Who play on our town one day? And the end time I'm a semi town. Maybe I can say me
and a band, the one phone player.
Oh, Bayern Casa. Bayern in Casa. Bayern have not said that.
I was on below and yellow diam
on Casa. That's not what Bayern have said. Bayern have said please are having to Chelsea twice.
That
or maybe Chelsea catch homes outright. The only way now they are proposing an obligation. Chelsea say no. And me, what I want Chelsea to do is that Hold your stance, Nessa. Send about they build a reputation in the English Premier League and in Europe. Say over the one.
Got the end of budget. It drew as well. I can't say.
They met to my catches are rich. Unya more than 28 million crowd with the bet. Alanto Ganacho. But Ganacho, Una Wapam benefit team. We did not tell you that let Ganacho go. Yeah, come be answer. Say my Alanto Ganacho go. Say, oh, you do all the man, you better and we buy for 25 million. We are mama 3 million, 7 found Google in Bob Bochel Luis Diaz. You see, Asima Mekano. My mama is subjective, winning bow. Mankasa. No, I made a simple comparison of if you have
less a Bayern almost saying the nimbo boching.
Exactly. And in extending that argument, I ask you that if you can pay 15 million for unproved Nick Votamadi, why will you not pay 35 million plus 5 for Nkunku? Why? Somebody who has proved before in the same league. If you can come and buy Louisia for 75 million, whose highest tally in the English Premier League is not to the 20 that Nkunku has scored. Why can't you pay almost half of that for Nkunku? Somebody who has proved in this same league. That is where I'm coming from. It is buying in your home.
Why?
Oh, I'm going to say,
oh, dear, oh, would reach now account for us. Yes, on our feet.
Barrett, you know that Ganacho, nobody even give you 10 million today. Yeah, Mumwa. You know it. No, wait, you see.
No, Abraham said, or no, I don't know.
And you're
too upset with Chelsea.
And it is Manchester United.
Who says who says Abraham? And yet Chelsea now no person Okoba. And I be out to say, look, wow, Abraham Biabra, getting more than 40.
But I stem free him. Where did they stem from? You should get more than 40 for him. On proper market value for wingers, Garnacho should be 40 and above. But then Ebane saying because Manchester United have not handled the situation well. It's same as Anthony.
I know they G2, but they also just turn for.
Now what say at the end over cash a come. You're not 28 you've won the bet. Alejandro Garnacho 25 plus 2. You take it or leave it.
On our own country.
What's he say?
On our own country.
But I did country.
The same situation now Garnacho, and you Biana Nicola Jackson.
No.
Now, oh come on, Kofi.
No, it's not the same situation.
Why name him Chelsea pay Nicola Jackson?
No, but we've not openly said that we have an issue with him and he's not going to go on preseason with us.
I know.
It is different.
But on several occasions, I'm one because I'm coach. I call press conference. Yeah. You have some question about the boy.
Yeah.
And so who any answer or demo or take conference room. Yeah. It's clear Chelsea are moving on from Nicola Jackson.
Yes, but
only do a banu of a chess card. Yay, move first can in Amna. Also drew, so they are
very separate. And none of pay. Enzo Maresca pre-match press conference for West Ham. Only sound for Nicolas Jackson. I don't say over 2 strikers. Nicolas first match, nobody red card in 20 minutes. And subsequently, because of Salah, 2 strikers now, he doesn't think that Nicolas Jackson will get a place in our team ever call West Ham anymore. But your manager says outright, enlisted players, SSR players, they can't even go for preseason training. So it is different. Mr. Look at it objectively. For Man United, and you are Garnacho, 10 million kramano. It is more Anthony that's
59
Garnacho
50. Take it or leave it.
Over Tibet and I say Garnacho Munya 30 kra.
No, in the bed and say.
So as we near there, as one more day to me don't does. What Tibet yes. When they got khaki to khaki. But tell me now.
They have it. Did
you expect say Torian Mospet Fono will lose out on a break chaser? Because I think so they've lost out on him. Did you expect?
What really happened?
I said
go behind him so Kototia.
Yes. Now, who's asking for a scout to a break chipping? I hope so they scouted the most scouts not for Rich. Football transfer business so and they scammers and then people who are the right English word, scammers near the right English word, but people who are to an extent con men are almost so imagine. So everybody knows that Eberechi has a release clause is 68 million in pounds. And Obi Obeko Steve Parish who be about Eberechi. He just shows you the boy's release clause on Kasabibre. Then tells you that opener agree personal terms to him and go and buy him. Now so Obekaya Tottenham Hotspur in the last few days had gone to Chelsea's link Advertisements friend Xavi Simons, and Xavi had told them straight on over Chelsea. So it means that they had to finalize Eberechi as a deal. No? Which means Eberechi as a nebra penny and any agent. According to a lot of the news in North London, what happened is that Eberechi is an out-and-out Arsenal boy. 2 nights ago, Tottenham must perform any Eberechi really. They agreed that they were Crystal Palace. They agreed with the boy. Now, Crystal Palace for because and then a conference league game about. It's one signing paperwork off. They told Nottingham Forest, Tottenham must perform. They say, Richard, on time. No one for Eberechi as a game number and then you made a conference league movie. Yeah, now come on finalizing deal, but of course, my verbal agreements. Rich, once Arsenal got wind of it, quickly Arsenal contacted Eberechi as his brother and told him, say, now say what about Arsenal Academy pay? And you pay. It is a more your personal test, BBA. You maintain everything that Tottenham was supposed to give you. You bet yes can. Well, pass now. And he did an interview a couple of years ago saying, say, at age 13, Richardo. Yeah. I said my dream was to play for Arsenal. I remember the training after I got released from Arsenal. I couldn't focus. I was just crying. But I think that helped me so much in all other rejections that I have faced. I thought if I can get through Arsenal releasing me, I can get through anything. It's just because Crystal Palace wanted to wait for the boy to play in a conference league. It bought time for Arsenal Football Club. And Arsenal have jumped in knowing that Eberechi is a true and true Arsenal boy. He is going to be an Arsenal player. We'll come and talk about how he affects the Arsenal game. No? But who said, and then in Italy, it looks as if Rasmus Hojlund alcohol.
I mean, your intentions are very clear. Oh, yeah, moving on.
On the movie on. That's on to 20. More movie on as on to 20.
Coffee, I'm waiting beyond. I mean, and maybe a car share sponsor be once a good say. When
Chelsea share sponsor, almost on due diligence still.
Indeed, still now,
it's almost can't tell me who's got 20. Tell me due diligence.
Bibisa question.
I didn't know no amount, and I'm
as a we are no another so cheap.
Bibisa
say Intimunya,
one sentence per a phrase and a kind of
and I'm say, Intimunya, be quite
due diligence. It's my phone code into the conference league matches or one now. Obi obeso Kofi Kesi and wait me take screenshots now.
World champions, we need share sponsor.
Yeah, ni MP. Says Canada also. Ana. Muna na most also ton shares am call for babebu am. Team ni. Ebia ono den so bia free banye.
Ebi jambru blacks. Yenkwai.
Ya chikron for now bizan say ebu nana. Ye bebu no.
Okay.
Mami mo code ni ma na bebu am na. Do me the honest.
BWC01DC7A. And your first code. Second one BWC01BC2D. And your second code. Third code no. BWC0191E3. And the last one no. BWC01A614. And your bed way codes are. Yadi Emamo and Nano Pen now so to me at Trebi. Besman goes to Payala and so by Johnny Live our YouTube Insha TV. Na a part of the show. Medimosi Process Center Honieko. Na Makacho say Yadibia Omoshe our hunting Misro. Unko Homa Yanshewa and Tentempana no alcohol. Na Yasho Kama pa Ama Honsono Etimi Ato. Na the attendance of some problem be our dentist. Sanson Oba a war Emma Oba Yabesho Ama Honsono. Etimi ato prostitute crowd ye tene te ntibema bia no o prostitute nsem na fa be dan na enhweri na emfa ema so the medical kan yare bia ye insurance so enu no eno an se okọ eye kumase ya santase ahenema kokoben santase na oboase stretch na on sabitimi aka medimosis process center enuro de enyasem kito akra 0244 068447 and your number Omodidi Juma I'm Stock Mining and Engineering Training School me pacho ko Obuasi Zongo na Hisense building no na chiwo pe ho and na yewa 3 months say be open so rem into mining na and on so rem I'm so no I could what ya show say they see a forklift excavator bulldozer roller and afi eye abako ni na na becho kama pa na say asem dan say so frechichi na oba obo ase abesua de na ozo oba ese unya hostel facility a odu ti beto e free yenyo kapre afi equipment a de be training no and so free and a forklift training no and so ya any free enti eno an so do ani bechirim na onso oba besua de no ebi your number you did Germany 0539 732 na multimino madin komadi twato kran na besmark uzi bempa yala entro so mayeno 3p garlic mixture 100% garlic extract we bibidro kan abeboa vitamins so minerals so na enema bebre wo ma abeboa ama nipadua na side say ebusu immune system no yade bi say stroke asthma Johnson na Johnson 10 obi wo ha kesia na wo ye opese so etikama indina no 3p garlic mixture oba wo kwa fichira no anya se ye wo ya no kotobi na enum ndina no ewo eye edwaso dani heba misi colinac apidank 3p garlic mixture ebi ewo 0248 928824 tobi na enum esanse yare ya Bismarck Osu Bempa Yala. Good morning.
Good morning.
Now what you saying?
Oh, Nyamia do me hoya pa.
Nice Jesse.
I Diago Jesse.
Diago Jesse there.
As I say, and then me see from me drew washing bay hona mini pebi or Barcelona and you horse eh. And then I was show Barcelona Jesse kama pana me say I
yes it is so.
I say season has started. Enti obi a wo hia wo team Jesse Diano na wa Fred Diago na ono so do dia bro very nice quality team bia support bia on Jesse ewo ho enti obetimi a Fred Diago ewo 0546 279512 0546 279512 odo fra o say ayala semen frau na emma me Jesse plug bia me prebia wo team bia support bia pani Jesse share na efa support wo team no this season year konti Fred Diago na ene no entwetwe nkomo rich ye wo bia ne kwai ofa so taking a decision ebi mu wo ha omu gidi se omu was caused to settle with Obi and I still should be enti wakohoda or the CV koye okoye no omo say ye hwe CV ni ye hwe ho a undru enipa ye hwehwe no enti ye ma wadwuma no na oko se okoni ne mua na opiki experience ko adwuma na afi obeye topper say still she now rejecting no babie mu a our two decisions to make one to be emotional about the rejection and say oh me tell my name is ano and I tell my name in experience you know ma for ma anya hwe ene ya ma kire mu say ade no metimi aye na ma ye bi wo baby foforo na afi na mo bepa me mma bia rich you wo so they want to come back and prove my more wrong say the rejected stone say baby I'm about to do and I will have a score to settle with more and I want to do it right in your faces. Rich Eberechi Eze has decided the second option not to be too emotional, not to be very emotional about oh the omode here me mre bi atwam nintino me mpese me ni omo benya ho biem. I want to go there and tell them say te man me 13 years no say me good enough no say me good enough. What am I talking about? Rich Abranti e friend Eberechi Eze on say our Nigerian roots me feel for to be a footballer. Omudi ni Chinchini Academy and Obodene call Arsenal Academy. At the age of 13, Rich, one of those academic trials, Omuye Arsenal for you, on your good enough, uncle. Until Nancy in one of the interviews, oh yeah, and I can say, hearing them say to me at 8:13, that was tough. I remember training after I got released. I couldn't focus. I was just crying. Oh. Then, of course, I didn't see him, 13-year-old, as a shouting a channel. I say, I remember crying in my room for a solid week. And my mom telling me it's going to be okay.
But 13-year old boy there. So boy young.
Very, very young. And may I sure say he had fallen in love with Arsenal as a club. Or come academy who facility or say, Charlie, this is where my dream is. Never catch and say you are not good enough.
Well,
so soon 1 week. I know. Now they are saying to say they told him say on you good enough, but now I also born the last training. And all boy you know suguni musa.
No is all
now o free sa situation no no. O soon 1 week on them. In his soon on Timmy Bamonte. Ni mama na ba no be kan say look. And yes, be fine. Now, Rich, Sanka, you move the brain and care for experience in the I'm telling you. And can baby a Bruno, especially when Ababe and North London Derby. Choose Tottenham against Arsenal. Now, and she almost said, a woman who called 13 years ago, a lot of us would have chosen that path to get back to them. Marriage, as I said, Debbie, Arsenal now no person, and I should Tottenham for the papa. I show my papa.
Rivals now gone.
And only the 80 I show more rich. They could have gotten as a before Arsenal step in. Maybe I know my commander do no. They could have gotten him. But doing the negotiation, she come when you call magic. As a catcher, my team, Crystal Palace, so he wants to leave to Tottenham. Personal terms, Omar agree. So the guy was set on leaving. And the game no more bono. And I'm say, okay, Munche, you want Conference League, but you move, yeah. Then we will make the move. Arsenal was out of the picture. Rich. Arsenal here on training. And I can't have Akopra. Can't have to play. Arsenal say, I've had to play now a long term there. We need to bring someone in. When I say as a crown here, penno, and you're cheering one film, yes, this one called Tottenham. I tell you, David, but go and see whether we can get it. They go, they up the offer crazy. Then Crystal Palace called Eze. We didn't say we call Tottenham, but Arsenal Bassi see ourselves mupo. You switch attention to them now. Oh yeah, Arsenal member. The deal for not Tottenham Forest of Arsenal there, right? It pained Team and friend Tottenham.
Game you know.
You were saying it's goodbye. That is what I'm telling you. He was set to join Tottenham. Before that game, he had told Tottenham for Team and friend Crystal Palace for say he want to join. And she said, even to the extent that he had told some of his teammates, say, Charlie, Community Shield in your first game my boy our Premier League against team your friend Chelsea will be my last game. Rich. And it's all where the English media now a story in all of them determined as a coup d'etat. All of them. Obia and getting the impression say the Arsenal iron a cool because Abenton was joining team and friend Tottenham was Rich, I have only one concern. Meaning say and Maka on several occasions say Mikel Arteta also J League this season. And on himself to win the league, he need to build a very, very good squad. Not just first 11. Any future squad, they would do. In any situation, you will Rich, he will have a team out on and bring someone from the squad to do the job at the Amano. Metier Verechi has a lot of interviews as to say no more. And Rich, he is like Neymar Lami Yama mentality. Or say, I told you so in a park, listen to Bobo. Or Jimmy Person go for says, hey, now they know you're born and the born in Quemica, over so to tree, over so BB. I yes, Sonko. Now, my born a simple man, born young queen. I say, oh, more games are fun, Hubiano. Say, son of football, I've done it, efficiency. I don't know what you say, but on no as so, go back in the circle, Bobo. Or do you query about fans in a chase cover stadium one? Or may you be to sweep them off their feet? So, maybe a mess, I know my mom says, idea, not just the simple way of playing effective football. And he is an entertainer. Rich, the guy has grown in the Premier League. Yeah. So when the numbers in the last 4 seasons, he is raking the numbers and and now there is no doubt about say or yet one of the top talents in the English Premier League. And until Mikel Arteta, Edwin Abano. But the problem here, Rich. There have been pictures of Ono, Bukayo Saka, Nodi Madueke, and other players at our English national team camp. Now, Makase, the basis of any footballer decision, our this transfer window, Rich, should be whether Salah transfer will help him get on the plane and also on the flight to US, Canada, and Mexico for the World Cup. Ebrechi Eze. Now your friend was English national team. But Rich, Nancy performance for Crystal Palace. I'm a Thomas Tuchel Eton and Safeno. And he had to say in the next international matches I ever he will be called. But Rich, so Oko Arsenal. Na Uncle Dini, he said the old Dini in Crystal Palace. Na Okoye a squad member. Now the number of games I am limited because Arsenal our a template of 4-2-3-1 players almost Shebudada. Rich, now say the game time short. Now obey oh free bench neighbor if you are Omubi. In this competitive English national team, who the English fan? Obey our attention now. Crystal Palace Edinburgh Thomas Tuchel for him to call him. That is my problem. Sometimes the year movie, the dynamics with the national team
are very important.
Because Mimi Gini say, Rich, some short Tottenham team in the year, and Carbenton will have a more stake in getting regular playing time at Tottenham than Arsenal.
Arsenal now names are Branton Ope.
Ope. Yes.
Because Sanya Carvin the prayer. Arsenal me foul.
Yes.
Yeah, be over saying Masamumumi.
And Arsenal now Ope. At the detriment of the national team career.
Maybe.
Because Senka Obetuma Nigeria. Say Nigeria no Obama with the rich. Or continue Arsenal mention Nigeria Obama. And the English national team rich. And she and
Arsenal for not catching the Chama Bobo. You play.
Okay, say Arsenal man is about and I have for Obobo Arsenal team. You know how Arsenal ebo. And say me Gina was a let's put the Arsenal 4-2-3-1 here. Arsenal 4-2-3-1 Raya. Whether teammates and I say Ben White, no Omabo, Luis Kelly, and I say Calafiori, Omo 4 and 5, Gabriel and Saliba, now a Zubimendi and a Declan Rice, then anymore Bukayo Saka, Martinelli, Martin Odegaard, and say Victor Jokeres. So Omasha the boss of Beba, why no be to know? He is an attacking midfielder. So you two will film, Zubimendi any declares the free mu need any ha and he can play force number 9 it's need any sanko for me and say Bukayo Saka, Gabriel Martinelli, Martin Odegaard, captain number 10 and for no better.
Na say Matisse Arsenal for ne ka say Odegaard you captain there ba Arsenal so upra ko ban no
Odegaard be range Odegaard
ti bia ye mo no no mu ntina ben na unua me bona bia onye super so ba
obebenchi capito I doubt
okay
now Rich
na Martinelli dey say easily obetime yi
I say so oni mbo nchi Odegaard
ba Martinelli dey say obetime yi
no
odimi ni Martinelli
no onim the way Arsenal born what Martinelli money Bukayo Saka mo offer the team and yet just or skills no and yet the width and with our players on more pace ability as a Rich on your side players now on
the ball na down
yes yeah and the Arsenal ebono even though the profile of the players no unim no Rich tactically too they are there to do something for the team. I don't think also Bukayo Saka ni Martinelli omma Arsenal balance pa uno bobo na whether they are playing at the right they know say Martinelli just left a switch man or the ball be come me pace our weight say you bobo no our left you say Bukayo Saka ho you bobo man over me pace any weight ability as is not a player that can give you weight say these two players at the man even on the bench play me say Mwaneri play me say Leandro Trossard Mokrano which can give you more weight than ability as so Arsenal Kotono Rich as a backup number 10 to Martin Odegaard. Then the question no a legitimate if some busa platform will say so obey backup to Martin Odegaard the number of games are also better and couldn't it affect the English national team Ebona Obo na yes so call Emirates Rich Emirates ya asem ne ba no in one of the tunnels our Emirates Stadium hono there is a moral already of Eberechi Eze our honum welcoming him to the club Arsenal Football Club our ho Rich unko for Newcastle free you see in football business discussion I am far more as in casa
emotions
no but Rich sometimes you can't help it but to ask a certain moral questions. One was open 150 million for Isaac. Liverpool see about 120 we see there be orange. Rich Brentford also so one visa also open. I don't see any problem. Yeah, mama we na yatom. Visa open e betom. Nemum physical bibra. Rich okwa now the peanut cut near reject. Now the peanut cut near reject. Now Abrantia so catch Brentford say, hey, Thomas Frank ko matonton a lot of your players papa ni amom ko say bon minim dem ne bebo. Enti mesa be call Newcastle. Rich Nhyira. The latest Newcastle bid latest so next one would be acquire regitiu and 35. Can you imagine?
Newcastle. 35 days.
Most motor will be 150. Muntimin Chessas can move me and sample and Fanko.
There is at least in Gaudi for 50 people.
And I make it put a 150 now also would him job. When you tell me, yes, no more back on Kawanya with another. It means yes, yet. Oh, I told him, oh, also with the Musa back home, and you know the back also so I saw much in India. Oh, you and you're fine. No credit, say. Unless we don't watch the Premier League, but we don't Premier League. Me and him say one Wisa is a very very good player, very very good player. Until the Newcastle funny and rich, no credit and send them to us 35 plus 5 million add-ons here. There is nowhere Brentford for the especially when they've done a lot of business. For a lot of money, be a Mami with some few updates. Hey, look, Rich. Transfer window. I think say a specialty. That is why I'm not for no. they always bring in people you almost special to deal with it now. Anyway, me ayala me gina Nhyira baby me gina yai and I'm say Milan board no a committee na omuko ni nyina na Erasmus Holland ho. They wanted to build a structure and a formula ebetimi appease Manchester United and Holland nyina say ombra no me si akan Emma Milan na omu meeting no and omo de beto omo so ye ko na de aye no say ye ko pa brand no loan na emom no ye de ahyem say there are small conditions be so timi meeting ye obligation say ye beto brand no and ye gidi say Manchester ni brand no nyina hu so ye obligation say ye beto na everyone know so ye pen so obampa rich yes omo the proposal na ko to the agent nanim abantia ne enra yes osori anopa we ya rich you say abantia say o David onu onpelu onpe any situation a edini be free Manchester United na esabet me potentially edina banachi enti club bia open bia no come with a permanent deal never find a call a dealer and money you change biem now obekas but ayala say obligation to buy your obligation but na so tie we ya make say the obligation to buy and was some few conditions I also meet and sana or meet me trigger obligation you know rich Rasmus Holland a point back was say make and say and I'll be very quick and say rich let me put okay let me go here I mean scramble way I say or share AC Milan during preseason na Mazimela Allegri buy no was starting about 3 back with 2 wing backs 3 midfielders 2 strikers na 2 strikers na obo mo no or Santiago Jimenez dada as the number 9 rich Rasmus Holland say or share preseason no the also Mazimela Allegri and say Boni Santiago Jimenez as the number 9 no abo either Rafael Leao and I say Christian Pulisic akano ho. What it means is that he is not giving room for 2 top strikers, 2 center halves. Now, anymore. Upper 1 center half in Santiago Jimenez and 1 other attacking player here. Or make money variation. It means that there is only 1 spot I'll compare. But Napoli is also at the end of the table. No, so. Number 1, Napoli be the Champions League. AC Milan Emmanuel. After so Romelu Lukaku pra. Which means so corner policy here or Kwakubo. Say even Lukaku ba because Antonio Conte there, the 3-5-2 now about 2 strikers. And Lukaku mpona permanent. The other one, obetinya fight for and play with Abrantia, your friend Romelu Lukaku. Rich, you see Anunti and Delos when we say AC Milan turning attention to why your Nigerian brother Victor Boniface. Ana omukwa kofano na Mirror Studio here rich before me dimi code ne beba no AC Milan supporters at the long petition bia betu ya na onuma se moka omosi ni oma mienu abrantie we last season me say 75 days to injury 75 days ne ligament occur about 2 times and onya ligament injury among other injuries. And see, Omu say onye fit to be sustainable our team FN AC Milan. Number 2, Omu say the Subanye. Background check on my on the teammate in Toka, on the coach in Toka. Adeche say ni Subanye. And see, and the ball bono. Boni and Konim bon koba bua but the injury any ni Subanye no. Omu answer them. That is what we are hearing say. After Milan a movie on from Hoyland no a branch friend Boniface and Oma settle on say Omo Ede Omo Ebeba. Yes, I know there are games in the Europa League and the Conference League. We've done a very nice combination. Again, you know, a dozen musu da ho. Time say wa sa obeko bet we ho. Just a code we na feature be na chabi me say chabi. Na dey chama me kan che me say enko discover and be chabi. BWCO no C0 39 E7E BWC039E7E BWC040 EA1. Third one BWC0 45454. Then the last one BWC0 47835. Into between code 4. Very, very nice bets. Very, very nice combination. Into me so screenshot to be and I say a fast nenya coach no. Who come social media handles so X and Facebook on sa ebetimi akabi na otimi edia regional share top 4 no.
We kotokodia no.
We kotokodia no kwa. When to answer house there no. Sheni mi no nyina. I think say organization spot on. Organization here. And attendance okay. So where situation at top 4 na fafemuna. Change of venue, since I know my working days. Exactly. Attendance. Okay. But Rich, I have a problem with the standard of play. But myself, people shouldn't come at me. I recognize a preseason.
And then so what ye some fans are more, especially with the Kotoko fans are. What's your reaction after the game? And I love it. I'm gonna say, oh, a preseason. And yeah, boy, who the Akoba Africa, and it's good to say you're saying a reality check. A bema who say a team no Zebia. Now you had been say a complete team at the Copa Africa. Where boy could say no. Yes, city up. It means so. Yes, share there. But our boy now, a boy now, it was okay because a preseason. Players no be am person be because be a person Copa Africa be. And I love. Omo team me be ase. Uzen kakanena. The typical Kotoko fan. Ebeka so no. I didn't know Mama goes as say.
But okay, I agree. But Rich, even though a preseason, even though a complete work of Kotoko team I expecting for the season any year, because some matches way Emma Wakonya to watch some players be in some certain situations. Now I say, oh, which man you be for home, and now over try different combinations be not one who they are so no credit. But Rich, I still think say even with all this said, there were some players say omubetimi ama gidie bi wo mumu say omubetimi abo season proper also mo page on performance in him. This guy called Adabo. Me for the Nakotokoto the free matters. No. I watched him against Kaiser Chiefs. He was battling on the work ethics very good. But Rich, at Kotoko, you need to have a certain level of quality on the ball. So yeah, my daily we are on the ball no so because Rich young kind of crunch Ebia Kaiser Chiefs na baby any Ghost Stars are Ghana League champions, but majority of Kotoko games on Bebono Rich they will be favorites, so they will be playing against teams that Omumu defend it more against Kotoko. So you need to be good on the ball too. Say the be as a master Kotoko break it down low blocks or passes any or calmness any Sano Manoman will come to play. I think say a double any set Kojo Rich, there seems to be all over the pitch dodo. They are not calm. Like there should be a certain Obiani saying was it Rich,
is it not because Ebiomushu say this is preseason? Manya bibi I mean to be catchy coach, and so mean to be catching the eye. nti ma menye bibi you know me gina
okay
back so menye bibi ansa na coach be say look the guy is good na yakobo Africa
okay Rich mama a very very good example and be about the Americans and I want a familiar player Akwesimoto Akwesimoto no
and one thing yes our boys now
yes.
you dey na bobo
yes but Rich say you ginji ball ni we are you expect the same Akwesimoto to give you proper transitional method adjuma obe possible oni ye when it is a ball no one honor say also calm to dictate the person so he could give that but the players we are me who know I said they seem to have only half of what Akwesimoto was giving Kotoko no but to calm the ball and because Kotoko need to dominate midfield and you could clearly see they were not dominating pim no also long balls to find Albert Amua, long ball to find Kwame Poku, long ball to find Saka. Rich number 2 Kotoko wo Emmanuel Entry, Kotoko wo Baba Yaya. Now they've added this Donsu guy. It's all a typical number 10. There's also another number 10 from New Edubiasi. Rich Kotoko transitions in India. Ni mo simni doors no. Enra. Odi asanya pe ekwan na hwebo ni biem. I think baby any Gold Stars could find their midfielders at their feet. They could turn and face Kotoko. Do some meaningful attack than the na Kotoko yen. Na Kotoko ball ni ye I say William Dodo. Meaning say if you observe the same thing, I think Kontomo were able to play the ball na Sefasmo it be for ball no park and so and the bibi tia Kotoko abia ball ni that form. But na Kotoko dey na too pinche too much. Yes, Kotoko may have individual qualities be in but Amuamone Kwampoku muni adi omo household names, omo big guys. And they could give you some movement of magic. Look at Albert Amua's goal.
It's only 60 minutes now.
Yeah, Bobo now. Then a long pass into space.
Obashe.
He ran off it. Play Bianca boom. But look at the way or see play ball. I say Emmanuel Kobi and Saho. Or stretchy and Santini and Kawashigo. Those moments will come. But the general play of Kotokono. No. Okay. And I have the same problem it has, even though they won.
Okay. Yes, I have got them kai on bo homo.
Yes, even though they won. Rich.
Gaka top 4 and yesha say Kumasa Sanoko 3 p.m. Omo any baby and goes as G League need to see na so boy. Genu corner na Kotoko aseba ko ma baby and goes as Ashekano. Eye mienu abetamo asema Kotoko. Arente friend say eye atakumi true penalty bete kano and Henry Ansu Patrick Emma back pass at the man goalkeeper. I asebo goalkeeper antimi but ebi mu fu se pass na no den dodo. Emma ball no koto atema baby and goes as ehye Kotoko kamienu a omuti kano eye back na nwumre no nsia and House of Folk I repeat Omni Lions, Sunshine Lions, Bakwa, Omo Entimi anti true a free kick. A rent defense, a run for the Mensa Pijai, and Lions, a defender, a Pimoa, on our copy the tuna cinema. Hasbrook Esho Makabakomo Entimi, and Yamina Mochina. We go again, 3 p.m. Baby and Gold Stars, Ebebo, Yame Aya Doma, Ochinana Ebaso, Omobo, a House of Folk, na Asante Kotokonsono. Abo Lions and you 6 p.m. and sana kwesi other games in so no of course and so to me Abba so goes at Bebo Lions and Kotoko so no Abo House of Folk and you 6 p.m. na yentie coach from Poman so after some share Kotoko Camino and so eti a canabaco navi yemfa and to adumedi so emfa emamo in Shawanzo for Pendracofi Mimonuna also a Brenamito.
Well, I think it's been good for us in terms of motivation because our players, I think it will motivate them in this tournament because a team like Kotoko and you are playing as the first game. For me, I think that alone puts a lot of pressure on players. But once they've been able to deal with it, I think going forward, they will do better.
Okay. As a voice, you know, they kakram, but the other coach person and say it's good for the team because Saobo come teaching me to say Gakato for now first match. Obo de tia Asante Koro the pressure kakra eba utim so after so much team ashakoto no and no ebe mo some good vibes be around the team. Say na be amo next games and our games that did do mo no team so ebetimi abo any ye na bibia kama ade amam Koro fans almost so question game ni no almost so a can be kakra.
But some ball now, even though the preparation is well, like I said, the turf and the pitch, you know, now more players, you know, on team share. Kakrana now we are going to toss me. You say if you are preparing for Confederation Cup, I'm talking about Moses Antipotoko. As I said, defender, you are more ball. Now you share the position of your goalkeeper. And so now, Uma back passer, it's unacceptable.
Many aje, the passer, the budget to let participate in that kind of form. A pre-season game, a more opportunity to assess your players. So when you media a good exercise, especially what I saw. And then what does the brain will say in the absence of Lord Amwa, a player like Shaibu, but you have to fit in.
Oh, I think like I said beginning, this is a good exercise. The reality check has set in. The team will say the team no
okay, into a session of the Koto fans, you know, almost so kakra amode etu dano and on didi dramani has and so share lions a kabako momo antimi antino. Into ono so kakra na into aso.
It's good to win, but it's good to put in energy, effort, and then performance. I think I value those aspects rather than just the element of winning. I see winning in different levels.
Now we saw your first lineup. Many were expecting your potential 11 to be your first 11 selection, but unfortunately we saw Benjamin Asari not in post in the first half. We saw Kelvin Osesibe also in bench and Kakari as well. What was the secret?
I think that we are in more periodization where we are. We need to share game minutes and then across the squad, and it is important not to those players out of the range where. Okay,
and coach Didi Dramani so the no Brana Yebisana about players be an Nigerians and commit me I start again also look pre-season so the other players and so more times and be home so performance a bra over or the new citizen also or the Ebabe Kumuno. Mamin call Bashir for Kakra Bina Kofi Ebrana Mintio Kakra on top 4.
Well, tactically we played everything. Only that the goals couldn't come, and then even though we had an own goal, our defender just headed the ball into the net. So that is football. We'll go back again. It's all play all. So we've done with Heart of Hope. We are level two teams. We are prepared. We are going to prepare and face them. So yes, once again we've lost to Accra Heart of Hope, and it's no news.
It's been back to back.
Okay, Bashir for no. Yeah. Also, Malusu. And Ojide say, yeah, so I would defend that. Yeah, pick up on as well, clear no alcohol there. I say a part of the game to adjust.
It's part of the game, but losing 2 games on the trot to the same opponent on the same page, I mean, the same place, but different times, and a little bit worrying Kakra for them. Now, I mean, for Bashir Hayford, I think the social last season performance now. Yes, I knew man getting into the momentum and drew because at some point in time, Pando out of lives could have won the league. But now I got some games like this where a some of feminine up, a see more board drop, so when you 1-0 win be. Now if you don't mind own goal, no more consider own goal. Now for the I'm a game now by ding for them. So they need to make sure say going into next season. It ends here. It ends at the Gaka top 4. Same next season they can compete because see you can't take anything away from Bashir Hayford, which to come from the lower division. Now, Bebas Premier,
Now, Bedru Baby Bashir for the Pando out of lines, but doing a huge feat. But they need to build on from there. Possibly qualify for Africa next season, and then see how they'll be able to compete on the part of Didi Dramani. I think say, which has team there. Didi has not seen the starts and I said the backbone and I said core of the team yet. Who's a now captain upon Franny? And I also saw the goalkeepers like what the journalist was saying, and change the few players, but the same system. So you could tell that Didi is trying to see if players don't solve or whether it's the regular people on Bebo and I say French players don't be adapted to the system because a very long season, and you can tell say Obi said Didi he is treating the Gaka top 4 as preseason purely. What is this? One Gaka top 4 fan or just an added silverware. Yes, on Betman brage, but purely as preseason games are all but to know the team he has to play with, to build a team on open so and then know how over the season. So I mean there isn't an issue, but a win is a win for us folk and they'll be excited. Meaning, so Ushe baby and Herian to Ejina or Bobo on the corner Chima Kamara. It looks as if my friend is a coach Karim Zito Ebono as a fullback, and I don't know what exactly Karim Zito tries to or prepare the team for. See, if not for nothing, Kamara has been subject to a lot of miscommunication, mistakes, and they will pull him, and he needs to be careful. And I like the fact that Kotoko did not wait for the season to start. Almost a probable, very, very good replacement. Somebody who can compete and then give him a run for his money. And my catcher several times that for me, the very first day that goalkeeper, I said several times that he is one of the best goalkeepers on the league. Inti Kamara should be careful. Now Frederick Asari is gone, but he has good competition. I want to position him. Say, oh, a goalkeeper and then communication with such a player, any after you concede goals like this. Again, I'm also saying, maybe it is because that's not the natural place that Heriansu consistently will play a Kotoko setup, and maybe that's why he made that mistake. For an ideal regular fullback at Kotoko, maybe he doesn't make some mistakes then, and now they lost that game. It was not a good game. Only a lot of chances. Very, very good chance for Kotoko not to lose the game, but they ended up losing the game. Again, it should be seen a preseason game and then see how they'll be able to prepare themselves and then play in Africa and, of course, the Confederations Cup, any league, as the season begins now.
August 31st, ma Yenshia Awo CCC Auditorium Hall. Na Yenshia Nano Ayese as part of LCCC family, no. Every month bia ne oniema yeye awa sorry was on na afidie no nya asem kitokra CCC family month no ye ne Riverman Productions omo enso kabum na yeyi sini so ye be play kakra awo asori dem ho no bia enso aba betwebi na yatuni din love on the ropes eno ene nyame aduma player na beba so no asentia yede atoso enti Sunday 31st ena yedi dwumadi no awo CCC auditorium ho awo ejaya anwume no nsia sharp na edi dwumadi no enso ede ahyehyɛ so an original Anklebu Heights play ye de ahyehyɛ so na ese bibia no etimi akonkan na nhyehyɛ mpanifo aye ne sɛ wo ya asɔre ba in fact CCC asɔre no sɛ ukobia onu betua 100 cedis na odi ato ticket edi abanemum sɛ won kwa asɔre ni bidia ticket no make sɛ oku trading Kingdom Bishop KNUST Continental supermarket ayeduase na CCC wona nso no okwa unsa ebetimi akabi momo de ne de 150 cedis enti anama hye no so na nyame adoma 31st of August Sunday no yena ne nhia awo CCC auditorium ho na yemfa love on the ropes play no emfa enhyehyɛ so mpacho opeticket no nsɛm bia atia ɛno nso be friend number 0547 640110 yeba sisi na ɛto aso de amamo
bɛma wo dwonso ne mu pae ebikam ɛyaw ɛne moja edi.
I have a problem with the standard of play, but myself people shouldn't come at me. I recognize a preseason.
And then so what some fans are more, especially with the Kotoko fans are. What's your reaction after the game? And I love it. I'm gonna say, oh, a preseason. And yeah, boy, who the Africa, and it's good to say you're saying. a reality check. Ebema who say team no say bia na ya adwin say a complete team at the Copa Africa. We boy ko say no. Yen city up. It means so yes, share there. But we boy na a boy na it's okay because preseason players no be am person be because be a person Copa Africa be. And I love omo team e be ase. O den kakane na come the typical Kotoko fan. Ebeka so no. I didn't think mama go start say.
But okay. I agree. But Rich, even though a preseason, even though a complete work of Kotoko team I expecting for the season any year, because some matches way Emma Wakonya to watch some players be in some certain situations. Now I say, oh, which man you be for home, and now over try different combinations be not one who they are so no credit. But Rich, I still think say even with all this said, there were some players say omubetimi ama gidie bi wo mumu say omubetimi abo season proper also mo page omo performance nim
ebi ni wan
this guy called Adabo me for the Kotoko the free matters no. I watched him against Kaiser Chiefs. He was battling on the work ethics very good. But Rich, at Kotoko, you need to have a certain level of quality on the ball.
So
yeah, my daily we are on the ball, no so because Rich young kind of crunch. Ebia Kaiser Chiefs. Na baby any Ghost Stars are Ghana League champions. But majority of Kotoko games on Bebono, Rich, they will be favorites. So they will be playing against teams that Omumu defend more against Kotoko. So you need to be good on the ball too. Say the be as a master Kotoko break it down low blocks. Or passes and or calmness Sani Manoman will come to play. I think say Adabo any set Kojo. Rich, there seems to be all over the pitch, Dodo. They are not calm. Like there should be a certain. Rich,
is it not because Ebiomufu say this is preseason? Manya bibi I mean to be catchy coach, and so mean to be catching the eye. Okay. Back in so minya bibi ansane coach be say look the guy is good near Kobo Africa.
Okay, Rich, mama a very very good example and the Americans. And I want a familiar player. Akwesimoto. Akwesimoto no
boys now
yes. But Rich say you expect the same Akwesimoto to give you proper transitional method for Juma. Over possible only year. When it is a ball on the honor say also calm to dictate the person so he could give that. But the players we are me who know. I said they seem to have only half of what Akwesimoto was giving Kotoko. But to calm the ball and because Kotoko need to dominate midfield. And you could clearly see they were not dominating. Long balls to find Albert Amua, long ball to find Kwame Poku, long ball to find Saka. Rich number 2. Kotoko wo Emmanuel Entry. Kotoko wo Baba Yaya. Now they've added this Donsu guy. It's all a typical number 10. There's also another number 10 from New Edubiasi. Rich, Kotoko transitions in India. You most simply do also. And now, would you sign up a coin of bony beam? I think Baby any Ghost Stars could find their midfielders at their feet. They could turn and face Kotoko. Do some meaningful attack.
Yeah, judgment in the city, 4.5.
Rich, unim say we share code Betway. Na enko the code no etwa beta. Sika omudi twa bet no emo 4% wa code no wo dia no. Eno ene e friend Betway influencer. Ubetima share code dudu obi a wo pe bia. Ne mom oye wo bet ni wi a. Code na da so no share na for so fa code no etwa bet no. Enso so ebi make share wo share wo WhatsApp platforms or share wo social media platforms or share among o betting community and as enkofo oni omutai this sports won komo na omususu do code no enso betwa bet ni bi simple www.betway.com.gh betway.com.gh and as oba download the Betway app no na watimi assign up unye multiple bet e was sports o code no na wa share na fofon so afabi undi 18 years untimi entwa bet ibi ukona wo bet nso a aya no bet no nyansam Betway almost get way more.
Different pancho ye demosia yakofa adum kase no ade abramu nyame ya adum a yebesan enemu ahia ahye no so se ye ba ya na obra atoan hinewa benewa so betena se na afei odi ejumadi no enso timi ade abramu yakramu nyina adum kase ena eto aso
omeyi